John Smith is ready to kick it off for the New England Patriots. Back deep for the Baltimore Colts, Larry Anderson, number 30, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. He's the deep man in the three-receiver formation. The ball's taken in the end zone by Zach Dixon. He'll not bring it out. So Baltimore will go on offense, 1st and 10 from the Colts' 20-yard line. We're underway, 1983. A good way to start a season, Jim, with no specter of a strike. These guys can concentrate on football.
Well, that's the whole upbeat of 1983, Don. They're all ready to play good football this year.
We'll look now at the Baltimore Colt offensive unit. At quarterback is number 18, Mike Pagel, the young man from Arizona State, recruited there by Frank Kush in his second season, a 4th-round draft choice a year ago. His runners and two very fast, talented ones, in 33, Curtis Dickey, 32, Randy McMillan. Raymond Butler, one wide receiver, set to the near side. Matt Bauza. Handoff goes to McMillan on a 1st and 10 carry. He gets ahead for perhaps 4 yards and got it all on his own as Clayton Wisoon, a good inside linebacker, made the stop for the Patriots.
Extremely difficult to run against the 3-4 defense and think you're going to be able to get outside against the quick 4 linebackers that the Patriots have.
Defensively, New England gave up a lot of yards and a lot of points in the preseason. Patriots dressed in red across their defensive front have Ron Spears, Dennis Owens, and the 13-year veteran Julius Adams. 2nd down and 6 now for Pagel and the Colts. Opening set of downs after the first kickoff. Bauza goes in motion. Around the corner goes very fleet-footed Curtis Dickey, and he gets out to the 30-yard line. Roland James, the strong safety, came over to knock him out of bounds for New England. So they stop the ball very close to the 30, just short of it. It'll be 3rd and short yardage now for Baltimore.
Don, if Mike Pagel's to have any success today, he's got to get involved Curtis Dickey, number 33. If he doesn't play a good game today, Pagel will have to do it on his own, and that's tough to do against a veteran defense that the Patriots have.
The pitch back. Randy McMillan turns upfield, and he gets ahead on the Baltimore Colts have a 1st down running the ball. So 3 straight running plays, and they get 11 yards on them. They're out to the 31-yard line, and there it'll be 1st and 10 for Baltimore. Don Blackman, outside linebacker, making the stop for New England. Big, rangy linebackers for the Patriots, but the problem has been in the defensive front, I think, Jim. They've given up a lot of yards and have had not much pass rush.
Totally non-existent. They're relying too much on the linebackers, putting too much pressure on the defensive backs also.
Raymond Butler wide to the right. Pagel with his first throw of the game. Triggers one in the flat, and the ball is dropped by Butler. Fourth-year player out of Southern California. Good receiver, the best that the Colts have. Ball was there, came in a little low. He couldn't hold on.
Don, he is the best that they have. He's their best speed man, their best deep threat. This is a key play not only for Butler to catch the ball, but for Pagel. Mike is still a rookie. He only played a couple of games last year. He's a 2nd-year starter. But Pagel's the man. He's the key to the offense. And if you can't get it going early with players dropping the ball, I think Coach Cush's young team's in trouble.
Well, right now they have 2nd down and 10 coming up, and Patriots going to their 4-down line with a linebacker, Andre Tippett, coming in. He's a good pass rusher. To the run, here is Curtis Dickey weaving upfield, working hard for yards, and Curtis Dickey gets ahead on a 2nd and 10 play for perhaps 6 yards. He's out to about the 37-yard line. We have no score in the game. This is the opening quarter. Don Criqui with Jim Turner. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. Curtis Dickey, as close to being the fastest player in the National Football League as one could be. If he's not the fastest, he's been clocked in a legitimate 4.2540, a world-class sprinter at Texas A&M.
And kind of a contradiction in football. You just have to wonder what his attitude. I've seen him at times go crazy. He ran against the Broncos one year for 63 yards on the sprint. Then he didn't play very well the rest of the year.
Boozer comes wide to the right. He leads the blocking as the ball is freed. Curtis Dickey lost the ball, and the New England Patriots come up with the first turnover of the game at the 30-yard line. A hard hit put on by a linebacker, and Dennis Owens came up with a free ball. There's number 98, the middle guard, Dennis Owens. We'll watch it again.
Don, their new defensive coordinator, Rod Russ, has been talking all along. I want intensity and I want pursuit. And you see it right here with the hit on defense, and there goes the ball. Big break for the Patriots.
A big break. Baltimore, with some hard blocking offense, moved out for a first down. Now New England gets the first turnover of the game and their first possession at the 31-yard line of Baltimore. Grogan at quarterback. Handoff. Tony Collins running wide. Good linebacker play from the rookie Vernon Maxwell, number 56, who came across and made the knockdown. Maxwell is something. In the preseason, the Colts had 18 quarterback sacks, and Maxwell from the linebacker position had 6. A look at the New England offense. Grogan in his 9th year out of Kansas State as a quarterback. Running backs Tony Collins, as Coach Ron Meyer says, he's as versatile and as good as there is in the league. Mark Van Eegen, the former Raider, now his 10th year out of Colgate, is the fullback. Wide receivers, big play, Stanley Morgan and Cedric Jones. Here's a throw on the flat, and Grogan comes in on the one hop to the second-year man from Duke, Cedric Jones. Defensively, Baltimore was impressive in the preseason, allowed less than 88 yards a game rushing. We'll look at their defensive front. Donnell Thompson, 99. Leo Wisniewski from Penn State is the middle guard, and Hosea Taylor from Houston is the right end. Greg Braceland, 52. Johnny Cooks, 98. Barry Krause, 55. And the rookie Vernon Maxwell back to line. Burrows and Hatch at the corners. Anderson, Glasgow to safeties. Delaney will be in the game a lot today for the Baltimore Colts. Second down, another throw by Grogan. He hits Tony Collins. He loses the ball, though. He starts downfield. Going to be ruled a reception and a fumble, so it's New England's ball inside the 15-yard line, Jim.
And Don, the offensive coordinator Lou Herber's excited about this. He was able on this offensive set to go one-on-one with Tony Collins and a linebacker, any linebacker, but especially a rookie linebacker. Perfect pass, excellent reception. He does fumble, it goes out of bounds, but that's what they're looking for, the one-on-one alignment.
Ron Meyer, the New England coach, says pro football today is a study in the offense, trying to isolate a defensive player and getting him one-on-one where there's an overmatch. Now Cedric Jones sprints in motion. They go to the run. Collins goes back the other way, and Tony Collins is down to the 10-yard line. Collins, a good back out of East Carolina, was a second-round draft choice 3 years ago. 5'11", 205 pounds. He can catch it, he can run with it.
In the pass, this is the area where Grogan will come in and use his athletic ability, sprint out, try to do it on his own. We'll see if he's gained a little bit more discipline in working with Lou Herber.
And we'll see if the Colts defense, which was so strong in the preseason, can stop this New England threat. The Patriots beneficiaries of a hard tackle by their linebacker Steve Nelson, a subsequent fumble by Curtis Dickey, and a recovery by Dennis Owens. And now, with no score in the game, it's second down and 7. Grogan into the end zone. He throws behind his receiver, Cedric Jones. As the Glasgow 25 came up and popped him. Third down comes up.
Actually, his receiver was wide open. I think Steve got a little bit excited about getting a touchdown quickly in the game. We'll be able to see that the receiver is in front of the man. A good throw would have meant a touchdown. You've got to think with Tony Eason, their multi-million-dollar #1 draft choice, sitting on the bench, Steve Grogan has a lot of pressure on him. It's all over the league with all the rookie quarterbacks that came into the AFC this year.
Grogan does not have a contender for a starting job right now. They did draft the #1 Tony Eason, but this is going to be a learning year for him. On third down and 7 from the 10, Grogan stands in. Here's the rush, and he's hit and knocked down at the 19-yard line. Number 99, Donnell Thompson, was there to sack him as the Colt pressure coming from either side. Leo Wisniewski was also coming up the middle.
And you can see it. The reason there's a good sack, not only a good rush, but all the receivers are covered. And Grogan knows he's got no chance to throw the ball. I like what I see. I like the enthusiasm and the youth that we see on the defensive line right now on the Colts.
If I spent the day with them Thursday at their camp, knowing Mills, Maryland, and regardless of what people say about Baltimore being a team riddled with dissension, there's a very up football team and a very up coach. Colts think they're going to win maybe a lot of games this year. We'll find out. They're the longest shot in the league going in. John Smith kicks a knuckleball, and he is wide. So after recovering the fumble, the Patriots come up empty.
And we talked to him yesterday, and I was here for 2 days. He's worried more about his holder, the new holder, Tony Eason, rather than he is his own job. And I think that's why he missed the field goal.
Well, that holder is as much a part of it as the kicker's leg. We'll be back with no score on the board right after this.
And Don, we take another look at the field goal. It is a very good hold by the rookie holder. The ball just comes out low, slides off, and is tipped at the line of scrimmage. And away it goes. Tough way to start for, I think, a very fine kicker in the National Football League.
There's the holder, Tony Eason, the #1 draft choice, a quarterback out of Illinois. The place kicker for the New England Patriots, John Smith, is from outside London, England. The first pro football game he was ever at, he played in.
Can you imagine?
The one area in the game you don't have to be a football expert. You can know nothing about football and be a successful kicker, as John Smith was when he first came in. Good from the outset. Now on a 1st and 10 play, Randy McMillan out of Pittsburgh runs hard and off the left side of his offensive line, led by the blocking of Baldus Weiler and Chris Hinton. He gets some room.
Don, I have the feeling if the young offensive team of the Baltimore Colts can move the ball down and get a score, whatever it is, a field goal or touchdown, New England Patriots are in for a game. They may think they've got a walkthrough here, but they certainly don't.
Ben Hutt now in at left guard. There's a problem with Chris Hinton's knee. Had a swelling on the knee. Here's the pitch back. Zach Dixon on 2nd and 2 is going to lose a yard. Nelson, one of the best linebackers in football. There's no question about that. In his 10th year from North Dakota State, number 57. He, of course, the first time Baltimore had the ball, made the hit on Curtis Dickey that resulted in the fumble. But there's no score on the board. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. 9:36 to play in the first quarter. Very hot. Temperature above ground in the 80s on the field. It could be over 100. Raymond Butler and Matt Booza go wide to either side. Pagel stands in. They give him time, and now he starts to move and gets a man wide open downfield. A foot race is on. Raymond Butler heading to the end zone is knocked out of bounds just outside the 12-yard line. A big play for Baltimore. They've not had many.
And there it is, Don. Mike Pagel is a better athlete than he is a quarterback, and he's able to see that his men were covered. Look at that on the run towards his left. An excellent bet. The cornerback came up to attack Pagel too quickly. Pagel's best asset is the fact that he's an outstanding athlete.
That's well documented, Jim. He was a member of an NCAA National Championship baseball team at Arizona State. Whole family's good athletes. He has a brother in the Cleveland Indians organization, does Pagel. And he also has another brother who plays football in Annapolis, Rick Pagel. Handoff up the middle and straight ahead. The carry is down inside the 10-yard line. Zach Dixon, a 5th-year back out of Temple, takes it ahead. Steve Nelson, again, was on the tackle. He invariably is for New England. So the Patriots see a 61-yard gainer go on the board for the Baltimore Colts. A big, big play, and you pointed out the athletic ability of Mike Pagel as he rolled out. Kept the linebackers in when he did, then looped it in over the cornerback who was coming up to play the run.
See, they realized right away that his whole career is to run first, and so they played the run first and left the man wide open.
The Patriots starting a rookie cornerback in Ronnie Lippett. Handoff, running with the ball, and straight ahead down to the 7-yard line. Randy McMillan. Clayton Wysoon got him.
Don, these are the toughest yards to gain anywhere in all of football, especially against the veterans. When you have a Steve Nelson and a very large linebackers of the New England Patriots, I'm not too sure right here if I weren't Pagel, I'd pull an early Steve Grogan and then roll out and try to throw the ball in the seam, getting the tight end and everybody crossing. You'll free up a man.
Well, there was that speculation, Jim, coming in that because Baltimore was not productive in the preseason, their offense scored only 3 touchdowns in 4 games, that Coach was going to go with surprise plays, open things up, do things that had not been seen in the preseason. Here's a throw into the end zone. Raymond Butler turning out. Rookie Ronnie Lippett up against him. Penalty marker appears to be down at the line of scrimmage. It was a 3rd down and 5 play from the 8-yard line. No score on the board here in the first quarter. Don Criqui with Jim Turner at Sullivan Stadium, newly named after Billy Sullivan, the president and chief owner of the New England Patriots. The man has been part of this franchise since it became one back in 1960 in the American.
Sportsmanlike, personal foul, chop block, penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Shot block, personal foul signaled against the Colts. New England declines the penalty, takes the down on the incomplete pass, so that brings up 4th down and place kicker Raul Allegra.
Our first look at this young man, they just traded for him this week. But keep in mind, one of the best athletes anywhere in the National Football League, their punter Ron Stark is holding. I would assume that they'll try to get points on the board early in this opening game.
Well, he's got it pretty much point-blank range for a kicker. Allegra was the leading scorer for the University of Texas the last 2 years, a cut by the Dallas Cowboys. He's got it on the way, and he's got it up and good.
And
Allegra, he is. His first 3 points on the board. Baltimore goes up first as the Colts take a 3-0 lead with 7:43 to play in the first quarter.
And I remember my first field goal.
I bet every kicker
Look
does.
at the reaction. I can remember my first field goal. Good for him.
We'll be back with the Colts kickoff right after this. Number 2, Raul Alegre just kicked a 25-yard field goal for Baltimore to open the scoring. His kickoff is a poor one, a high spinner. Ricky Smith takes it on the run at the 24 to the 30, and he gets it out to the 34-yard line. So what happens there, Jim? He got under a little too much?
He got way under, a little more excited, thinking about the field goal he just made. He actually kicked the tee further than he did the ball. The reason they cut their kicker, Danny Miller, from last year was just because of this. They felt Alegre could kick off much better.
Maybe he can, but not his first trial, though his first field goal try was just like they like it.
Let's give him a break. He's certainly nervous, and I think you're entitled to that your first time out of the box.
25-yard field goal gives the Colts a 3-0 lead. New England had a great opportunity early in the game. They recovered a Baltimore fumble. Had it down to the 10-yard line, but then a field goal attempt by John Smith was wide, and the Colts took back over and went down the field a big play, a 61-yard gain. Mark Van Eegen tries to run against the left side of the Baltimore defense, and there's nothing at all there. One of the biggest linebackers in football, number 98, Johnny Cooks, popped in.
And they're so excited about this young defensive group with Thompson and Maxwell and Johnny Cooks, but what surprises me is the size of Vernon Maxwell. He is not that big of a player, but he's so quick he's able to get into the ball. Maxwell coming from the left side, Cooks from the interior. Now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for New England. Grogan's taking a look deep. He's got to hurry. He can run with the ball. Doesn't like to with those knee problems, but he gets ahead for a gain of about 8 yards. Grogan was a very fleet runner when he came up, but 3 knee operations have slowed him down. Well, we talked at great length the last couple of days with Grogan about this. He does not want to run anymore. He's been injured. He knows that he can't afford to be hurted for the sake of the ball club, but you have to give credit to the defensive backs. Everybody was covered, therefore he had to run down the field. They're so preoccupied, Don, in training camp and even in today's game program, game plans for the game. They want the ball to Stanley Morgan, and I think they're giving that too much thought just to get the ball to Stanley. They have other very fine receivers. Morgan is the key one. As pointed out earlier, he leads the NFL all-time in career reception yardage per catch. Here is a run for a first down by Steve Grogan. 3rd down and 2. He gets across the 45 to the 47. Nobody open to throw to, but the Colt linebackers had dropped in the zone, and there was room to run. Well, there was room to run, Don. I guess while you were watching him, there was a receiver wide open for the touchdown. Number 83, Cedric Jones, possibly because he's a youngster, possibly because Grogan is not used to his speed, or maybe he just doesn't trust him enough. He went ahead for the first down rather than an overthrow, possibly, but a good throw would have been 6. So he had the man open. Now we have a wide receiver coming out wide to the left side. Stanley Morgan is wide on the left flank. Grogan, a great faker, holds the ball, has time, dumps it off, and a good catch is made by Tony Collins, who's ahead on a first down play across midfield and down to the 47-yard line of Baltimore. They say that Grogan's as good as there is in the game at Houdini with the ball. He is the best faker there is, but Tony Collins could show up to any camp in the NFL. I am just positive of this, and possibly become their starter. He is so good at running, whether it's up the middle or out the side, and he's got excellent hands, as we've seen right there. Collins really is a key. They do want to get the ball to Stanley Morgan for the bomb. Collins has to give him the game. The excellent hands certainly had evidence there, because that was a badly thrown ball, and Collins caught it anyway at 2nd down and 4. Before New England can snap the ball, though, we might have a delay of game. Oh, it's an offside against Baltimore. So with the penalty yardage stepped off, the ball will be advanced down to the 42-yard line of the Colts, and New England gets another first down. Coach Cush not happy about all this.
Encroachment, 69, defense, first down.
Tom Dooley, the referee today. So New England, which was down to the 10-yard line of Baltimore the first time the Patriots had the ball after recovering a fumble and was unable to score, now has it 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Baltimore. Colts lead the game in the first quarter 3-0 on a 25-yard field goal by Raul Alegre. Hand off to Collins. Look at that speed from the outside. Barry Krause, 55, and 56, Vernon Maxwell, come in to stop him.
When you want to attack a 3-4 defense that most everybody is, you must be able to control the nose tackle. Pete Brock is just a giant of a man. Wisniewski is somewhat undersized. If I were a nose tackle with 2 guards and a center on me, I'd ask for double salary.
Well, Leo would like to have that, I'm sure. He'd accept that.
Absolutely.
From Penn State, not big, but he's tough. 6'2", 260. Hand off, it's a fake to Collins. Here's a rush against Grogan, and down he goes, and that is the great one out of Arizona State. Vernon Maxwell with his first sack. I guess that isn't recorded as a sack because he was running the ball. It's just a tackle behind the line.
Not a sack, but what it is recorded as
is a heck of a play.
Outstanding reaction by the rookie. The reason they played this play is to try to catch the rookie, sucker him in with the play fake. Grogan would have had the field to himself. He didn't follow it at all. Shows me he had some excellent coaching in college.
Started out at Arizona State under Frank Kush. Finished up under Darrell Rogers. Vernon Maxwell, 56, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 14 for the Patriots from the 48-yard line of Baltimore. From the shotgun, Grogan takes a look, throws over the middle, a well-thrown ball low, and a great reception. Coming back at the ball to make the catch is Clarence Weathers, one of the rookie receivers on this team from Delaware State. 15-yard gain, and it looks like it's going to be a first down, or is it? Fans are calling for it, but the spot might be just short. It is short, so it's going to be 4th and less than a foot.
And a terrific pass by Grogan. Weathers finds the open spot. You mentioned that it's a low pass, and that's done by design. A high pass that's tipped ends up intercepted by the safety. Look at him work in the zone. The ball's down. It can't be intercepted. Terrific catch. I don't know about the marking by the official on that one.
Nor do the Patriots and their fans. Here's 4th down. Here's the carry, and Tony Collins looks like he squirmed ahead. There is a penalty marker down, though. James Burrows, one of the cornerbacks for Baltimore, clapping his hands. Could be indication it'll go against New England, but we'll see. Oh, it's going to go against Baltimore. So James Burrows with his hand clap was too soon, and it's going to be a first down for New England, so the Patriots drive on. 2:43 left to play in the first quarter, only scoring so far a 25-yard field goal by Raul Alegre, rookie from Texas.
Looks as if the New England offensive game plan so far.
First down.
The game plan so far is to almost play what Baltimore wants them to do. They're testing out that line rather than trying to get Stanley open from isolation or from motion and then get him isolated. And that's the key to it.
Giving him a lot of looks, too.
Yeah, they are.
1st and 10. Patriots starting them on a second challenge in this game. They trail 3-0. Hand off to Van Egan. He gets room to go, and Mark Van Egan takes it inside the 20. He's ahead for 11 yards, and the Patriots have a first down. And good blocking from the right side. Pete Brock, the center. Bob Kreider, the right tackle, in for the absent Shelby Jordan. Heed the blocking.
And there's a guy who has over 6,000 yards rushing, the longest rush ever in his career, 34. But he's the team leader. New life after he was waived by the Raiders. Came in last year. He's so much fun to play for. When you talk about 6,000 yards as a career, those are hard yards.
What is he, 16th all-time?
He's 16. He just needs 20 more yards or so to pass the great Floyd Little out of Syracuse, an ex-teammate of mine.
The ball is spotted at the 17-yard line of Baltimore with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Baltimore's in the lead, 3-0. Don Criqui with Jim Turner on opening day in New England. Clear and sunny at the outset of the day, a little hazy now as the temperature rises. It's got to be up in the upper 80s. And on this artificial turf field, it's really tough. Way up.
Perfect time, Don, for the crossing pattern to the receiver and maybe to the tight end.
Grogan goes to the run, though, and on first down, he goes right back to the big back, Mark Van Egan, who takes it down to the 15-yard line. Now, for more on this opening day action, let's go to New York, NFL 83 for an update.
Thank you, Don. Len Berman in New York. Here's the debut of John Elway, the super rookie from Denver. His second series, Jack Lambert hit him. The Steelers recover. A very rocky start for Elway. Scoreless first quarter. Let's go back to Don and Jim in Foxborough.
Thank you, Len. So Mr. Elway gets a greeting in Pittsburgh, which I think he was expecting from that Steeler defense.
Everybody's expecting. His offensive line is just in a total disarray with injuries.
Now 2nd down and 8. Pitch back. Again, they go to Weathers this time, and Robert Weathers, Van Egan running the ball, gets down to the 10-yard line, and they're going to spot it at the 11. So on a 2nd down and 8 play, there's a gain of about 4 yards.
This is just outstanding blocking by Van Egan. Robert Weathers, who had the camp of all camps for the Patriots, leading receiver, leading rusher, surprises everybody with his power, came in about 12 pounds heavier this year under their new weight program, and Coach Meyer is extremely pleased with this young man.
Collins and Van Egan, the setbacks. 3rd down and 4 coming up now for New England. Grogan in the pocket. He's got a problem. Down he goes. He's sacked again, a 2nd sack in this game. And he was also tackled for a substantial loss trying to run out of trouble as the knockdown is made at the 16-yard line. So again, the Patriots come up empty on a drive toward a touchdown. They will have a 2nd field goal attempt. You'll remember that John Smith was wide his first time. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line. So with a 7-yard hold, it'll be a 33-yard attempt. Left-footed kicker, that's got to be a tough hold, too. You got to get a guy who can take it from the other side.
And this is the proper side of the hash mark in the field for them to kick from. He'll pull it into the goalpost with the left hook. And he misses another one.
So John Smith having a tough opener here today. He was challenged in camp. Once again won the job for a 10th consecutive year. But he's had 2 relatively easy field goal attempts and missed them both.
Don, the first thing out of his mouth yesterday when we talked for over 2 hours was his worry about this youngster that's holding the ball. Maybe it's bothering him a little too much.
We'll find out, and we'll be back with the Colts in the lead 3-0. On the missed field goal by John Smith of New England, the first quarter came to an end, and so now Baltimore takes over the ball again after a 2nd missed field goal in this game by Smith. The Colts lead 3-0. We're at Sullivan Stadium. Foxborough masked on. Criqui with Jim Turner on opening day 1983. NBC Sports bringing you the Colts and the Patriots. Pagel on a timing pattern. Goes out to the fleet Curtis Dickey in the flat. And he's ahead for 1st down yardage. He got ahead for 12. Good play.
And you notice they put Dickey as a wide receiver. They're trying to put him in the game any place they can. Wing back, slot back, now wide receiver.
Let's check some scores from around the NFL on opening day. The L.A. Rams have opened up with a 3-0 lead over the New York Giants and a Chuck Nelson field goal. They're playing in New Jersey. Atlanta leads the Chicago Bears 6-0. The Houston Oilers, in somewhat of a surprise, have moved in front of the Green Bay Packers 10-0 first quarter score. Archie Manning just threw a 47-yarder to Tim Smith for an Oiler touchdown. And 1st and 10, Pagel stands in and overthrows everybody. He's got a gun, but he came in high with it.
Well, and you can see the youth of Mike Pagel. He's really not your classic drop-back passer. Threw right into the zone, 3 men covering his wide receiver. This is something that Coach Cush was really working with Mark Herman. I honestly believe the man that was traded here with Hinton for John Elway would have started today had he not had the misfortune of cracking his shoulder.
So it'll bring up 2nd down as Raymond Butler comes out wide to the left. Booza goes out right flank, and now we have a lone setback. Pagel with a long count. Again, a timing pattern. Again, he goes to this time to Raymond Butler on the near flat, and he gets ahead for a gain of 9 yards, and a penalty marker comes in. Tim Sherwin, the tight end out of nearby Boston College, blocking well down. See what the call is, though. It might be, now the Patriots say it's against Baltimore again. After every penalty marker, the Colts are clapping their hands. They're sure it's against the other guys, but they get bad news then.
Maybe they've had some luck in the past changing that official's mind. I wonder how long it's going to take Baltimore to realize that the left cornerback for the New England Patriots is a rookie, and they might want to put Butler on him and try to have some success there.
That's Ronnie Lippett, number 42. He's at the left corner. A place normally held by one of the great players in the game, Mike Haynes, but he's not here. In a contract dispute again, he has one every couple of years, it seems.
Yes, he does, and it makes it very difficult on a coach to have these problems.
Illegal block above the waist. Number 33, offense, 2nd down.
They got Curtis Dickey blocking above the waist, so that negates the play and brings up 2nd down and 14 for Baltimore. Early in the 2nd quarter on a very hot, humid day in New England, the Colts lead the game 3-0. Pagel brings Booza in motion and drops the throw. Here's the rush, and he's got time, but the ball is stripped from Booza coming over the middle. Good defensive play by that rookie corner we're talking about, Jim, Ronnie Lippett.
And the Pats went into their nickel defense, the 4-2 defense, with Tippett in as the down defensive end. Good pass rush on Pagel. Throws it right into coverage, though. Watch, he's really covered. Excellent coverage. Matter of fact, it was a pretty good pass, too.
On 3rd down and 14, a throw and up the middle, and the ball is taken in. Is it caught? There was a fine play by Tracy Porter, who was just brought in this week from Detroit. It'll go as a reception, a gain of almost 14 yards, very close to a first down. Where they have it spotted appears to be just short. Are they going to bring out the sticks?
Made an outstanding catch of a rather poorly thrown ball, but there we saw it. Isolation on the rookie, Ronnie Lippett. What's the outstanding concentration on the catch? Knees are on the ground, able to pull it in. But I think we're going to continue to see this, the working on the rookie, number 42.
Tracy Porter, who caught the ball diving, is a third-year player out of LSU. He came in from Detroit for a future draft choice. They liked him in camp all week. He's getting playing time. The first ball thrown to him, he makes a big catch. We'll see if it's big enough for the first down on a 14-yard needed play. He did get it. So on 3rd and 14, Pagel throws a strike. The play was really made, though, by Tracy Porter. And the Colts get 4 new downs at their 42-yard line.
And it's too bad we're not seeing the work of their draft choice that they were able to work with the Denver Broncos in the trade. Chris Hinton, an outstanding football player out of Northwestern. The Broncos certainly wanted Elway, but they did not want to give up Chris Hinton.
Chris Hinton, regarded as the top offensive lineman in the draft, unable to go because of that knee problem. He was listed as probable. Here's a throw and a drop ball by Randy McMillan. Big rush coming on. A safety blitz was the strong safety, Roland James, number 38 out of Tennessee. So the Patriot defense throws a changeup at Pagel and almost gets him, forces a throw. Pagel's put up the ball 8 times, has completed only 3, but you remember one was a 61-yarder, Raymond Butler. Subsequently, the Colts scored the only points of the game on a 25-yard field goal by Allegre.
Pagel looking into the sidelines with his quarterback coach, Zeke Bratkowski, one of the greats in the NFL. Tell who calls the plays in every play for the young quarterback. Zeke on 3 world championship teams on the Lombardi Packers, running the offense. Here's a throw and a completion to Tim Sherwin, the tight end. And this big guy from Boston College taking on people down the field and pops somebody at the 30. You like to see this. I mean, this is opening day in the Eastern Division. 29-yarder going back and forth with the ball with Ray Claiborne. But when they hit head on, it was Sherwin who won that one. Well, it's a beautiful target, getting the big tight end crossing underneath and able to come through. And watch the way he attacks the defensive man. Right there. They have words afterwards. These two teams have been competing for so long. They don't like each other. Very few of these ball clubs do. Absolutely. 29-yard gainer on the play. So the Colts mount a challenge at the 29-yard line of New England. Baltimore leading 3-0. Timing pattern in the flat again. They make the connection. Booza coming off the flank and turning out. And again, a penalty marker goes down in the New England secondary. But again, they're working on the rookie, Ronnie Lippett, giving a little too much cushion to the wide receiver. You have to wonder, Jim, as they keep turning out on him, if pretty soon they're not going to turn out and run a fly. Again, we have a call against Baltimore. Their play has been aggressive and spirited and sloppy at times because they've had 4 penalties called against them now. Well, these are mistakes that the coach doesn't like, but at least you can live with them because you know your guys are in there fighting and bulldogging all the time. A couple of years ago, they would have just quit and said, hey, let's play the game out.
Pass interference, 83, offense, first down.
Tim Sherwin, the tight end, on pass interference. He must have set a pick in the secondary. He probably set a pick or a screen, and the officials are really looking at that this year because teams are starting to perfect that pattern to pick. Ray Butler goes wide right. Booza comes on the left flank. Pagel on first down and 20 takes a look. Going to run with the ball. Throws on the run. Gets a man who's not done yet. Curtis Dickey sprints ahead and gets down to the 25-yard line. Don Blackman finally knocked him down, but the Colts get back to penalty yardage at about 4 more. Get back to yardage, but another example of Pagel, the athlete. Pagel, not the versatile quarterback or anything, running for his life, able to almost shot put the ball up to Dickey. This is the thing that scares the
linebacking group of New England Patriots to death. Once he gets loose on the run, you must play the run first, and he'll pull up and throw the ball.
Pagel has been improvising well. Right now he has a 2nd down and 7 coming up. Baltimore leading the game 3-0 in the second quarter. 13 minutes to play in the half. Oh, look, a throw and an interception. He threw it right to the free safety, Rick Sanford. So New England gets a second turnover, and they take over the ball at their 10-yard line. Sanford, a number 1 out of South Carolina, right there to take it in.
Don Sanford was right there, but I watched the entire pattern. Ray Butler stopped, didn't go for the ball. It wasn't a bad throw by Mike Pagel. He was expecting a man to turn in. Butler just stopped, didn't go for the ball.
Short arm the ball. We'll be back with New England stopping the drive and in possession in a moment.
For NFL 83 in New York, continuing our watch of John Elway. After completing his first NFL pass, he goes long and deep for a score, intercepted by Donnie Shell of Pittsburgh, but the turnovers haven't hurt. It's scoreless early second quarter. Let's go back to Foxborough.
Now we'll be able to see what the coaches see up here in the booth on Ronnie Lippett. Totally out of it, but watch Raymond Butler also. He didn't go for the ball. Had a chance to at least turn defender right away and knock it down.
Very important part of being a pass catcher. When you can't get it, you become a defensive back. Don't let the other guy.
You have to be able to do that right away and save the problems you give your team. Good picture of a pretty good young athlete right there on the sideline, Mike Pagel.
Very bright one, as Frank Cush, his coach, says.
Yeah.
He said that's one of the problems. Pagel thinks about things too much. I tell him just go play football. Don't worry about it. Last year, Pagel came in as a 4th-round draft choice. Felt he had nothing to lose and threw 7 touchdowns and no interceptions in the preseason. Was the starter on opening day. He's since been challenged. As you mentioned, Jim, Mark Herman got hurt. Elway never came. So right now, Pagel's the starter and the leader of this offense. As on first down, the Patriots go to the run, and Van Egan gets ahead close to the 15-yard line.
You see the Patriots settling right back into what they did best last year, number 2 in rushing. Instead of trying to work on this young defensive backfield of the Colts, they're settling right back. I think they're putting themselves into a trap. Stop running the ball all the time and start throwing it. It's a long season. In order for them to be competitive, even in their division or the rest of the league, they've got to throw the football.
Last year, they were 28th in the National Football League in rushing. But right up near the top in running the ball, right behind Buffalo, they just pounded away 150 yards a game running. This time on a 2nd down and 6 play, they go back to the run again to the big back, Mark Van Egan. And he's ahead for a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3. Clock runs with 12 minutes to play in the first half. Baltimore leading 3-0. Here's the defensive line play now of the Colts. Very young and very aggressive and good quickness.
And able to see exactly those tough yards that Mark Van Egan has had to work through with his entire career.
The Colts loaded with high draft choices in that defense. Cooks and Kraus, the inside backers, high number 1 draft choices. Wisniewski and Maxwell picked on first selection of the 2nd round. And L. Thompson at number 1. Here is a throw to Hasselbeck, who's in. And Hasselbeck very possibly could be an L.A. Raider as of tomorrow if he accepts the trade.
And I've always liked his attitude on the field. He wants to scrap and get after everybody. What a target. Any quarterback in the league would love this guy. 6'7", gets up and talks to everybody. A nice picture of the rookie coming from the outside, doing his thing, trying to blitz. Pretty tough to do against Holloway, who's twice his size.
290-pound Ryan Holloway, number 76. Now it's 1st down and 10 for New England. Handoff goes. They run with the ball, and Mosey to Tupu, a big back from Southern California, who had a great preseason, averaged over 13 yards a rush.
Probably the most popular man on this football team, overwhelmingly the choice of their special team, Mosi Tatupu.
Now let's check Vernon Maxwell, another great rookie.
But look at this. It's so difficult for a man that size to try to be able to get into the traffic.
Didn't do bad.
He didn't do bad, did he? But over a 16-game haul, that's going to be tough.
If there's any drawback with Maxwell, it's that he's not real big for a linebacker. List him at 6'1", 225.
Prime candidate for a weight program.
Grogan stands in against the blitz, puts it up, and the ball is taken down by Stanley Morgan. As they rule, he took it out of bounds. And Grogan is down, and with good reason, but he bounces up like a greyhound. He's taken a lot of hits over the years. They really nailed him as he threw the ball. Derek Hatchett was covering on the play.
Able to see what happens to a quarterback just as he releases the ball. White straight up, but look, he saw the man coming at him all the way and had the nerve enough to stand in there. Good effort by Morgan trying to keep his feet up on the sideline.
That was 250-pound inside linebacker Johnny Cooks on the run with a clean shot. Steve Grogan. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 coming up for New England. 3rd and 8, and Grogan stands in again, gets some time. A home run ball. A flyer going for it. It's caught. Taken down. It's going to go for a New England touchdown. Stephen Starring is into the end zone. A first-year player out of McNeese State. Stephen Starring goes the distance. A 73-yard touchdown play. They've loved this guy's hands in preseason. He was a quarterback in college, and they think he could be a star. Came in the 3rd round.
Don, and this does so much for this New England Patriots ball club. Now they see that they're able to throw the ball, but it doesn't have to be the bomb to Stanley Morgan, to the youngster, Stephen Starring. Absolutely perfect pass by quarterback Steve Grogan. Helps everybody. The coaching staff, Grogan himself. Let's see if John Smith is able to get his problems out of the way with the new holder and himself. Let's don't blame it on the holder.
A 6-3 game, and John Smith, who missed 2 field goals earlier with Tony Easton holding, tries to the end. High snap. Line drive, but they're having a real problem. Missed the extra point. So he put the excitement back in the extra point, but not for these Patriot fans.
That's cruel. I was the kicker. That's cruel.
You expect to get that one, though. We'll be back with the Patriots in the lead on a big play, 6-3. Big play, Patriots. Here it is again, Jim.
Good idea of man-on-man coverage, but it's just the old bomb in the NFL. Stephen Starring's first pro reception, 73-yard touchdown pass.
What was it Bud Grant said about man-on-man coverage? The only thing good about it is when there's a mistake, you know who to blame. On the kickoff return, Larry Anderson, the ex-Steeler, takes the ball out across the 20 for Baltimore. Lots of time left in the first half. 9:54 to play. Second quarter with the Patriots now leading the game 6-3 on a 73-yard touchdown pass play. We'll be back with Baltimore on offense, 1st and 10 right after this.
In New York for NFL 83, the Elway turnovers have not killed them. Sammy Winder punches it in, so Denver has a score. They lead Pittsburgh 7-0. Let's go back to Foxborough.
Don Criqui with Jim Turner here in Foxborough, Mass, with the New England Patriots on a big play. Grogan to a rookie, Stephen Starring, 73 yards and a touchdown, have taken the lead 6-3. 9:54 to play in the first half as the Colts come out on offense from their 22-yard line. Mr. Elway, despite some problems, has those Broncos in front.
He'll have problems. He's a rookie.
I think the Denver defense is probably surprising some people.
Oh, they're good.
Handoff. Straight ahead, running with the ball is Curtis Dickey on a first down carry off the right side. Dickey's out to the 28-yard line. He gained 9. Larry McGrew knocked him down. They spotted they'll put him with an 8-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Don, as I said, Curtis Dickey's the key to this offense. They've got to get him with the ball, whether it's in the slot, a short pass, put him in wide receiver, or as they did just then. He's such a versatile football player. You question his attitude at times. Today, it's a great one.
Those backs are going hard. Dickey running hard with the ball. This time it's Randy McMillan taking it straight ahead on a 2nd down and 2 carry. He gets to the 35-yard line and has a first down for Baltimore. Clayton Wysoon, who missed the preseason with an ankle injury. He was an all-rookie player last year. Number 53 made the stop for New England.
Say they're going hard. What we're seeing right here in the game, very simple football, but it's Frank Kush football. They buckle their chin strap. We do too. Let's go after them.
Both these coaches preach conditioning. They expect to win games in the 4th quarter on days like this. This is a day that will show some attrition player value because a lot of people are going to wear down in heat and humidity. Carl Baldesweiler, a big tackle from Oklahoma, 72, missed the snap count. He went 1 early. And yet another penalty against Baltimore.
And you can see what's happening. He's anxious. He's going to go against the old man of the New England Patriots defense, Julius Adams. 12 years. They get anxious in there.
72, offense, first down.
Baldwin has helped stabilize, though, the offensive line. He came in from Detroit, was originally a draft choice of the Miami Dolphins. Got him from the Lions for a draft choice in the preseason. Here is a throw, and a nice one down the field. Pagel on the money to Matt Bouza. Another penalty marker is down in the New England secondary. 25-yard gain if it goes. 8:27 to play in the first half. Boy, the Colts are marching back again.
They're not getting any help today.
Most of the time when there's a penalty marker down in the secondary and a completed pass, it'll go against the defensive team or in an incompleted one. But everything today has moved against the Baltimore Colts from the yellow marker standpoint. We recall earlier a big game was negated when Sherwin was called for an illegal pick.
83, offense, first down.
They got Sherwin again.
You have to think what they're doing is he's picking in there, trying to open the lane against that zone defense for the quarterback. Good idea, good job offensive line did that time. You think now with Hinton coming in pretty soon after his injury, they may be a little stronger than a lot of folks think on the offensive line.
That was the 5th penalty against Baltimore, none against the Patriots. First down in a long way, first in about 25. Pagel stands in and is sacked for the first time in this game back at the 15-yard line. Back there about 8 or 9 seconds.
Actually, a very good job by his offensive line, but an outstanding job by the Patriots. Everybody was covered that time. He didn't have a chance. Did the right thing. Don't throw it away for a possible interception. You can see right now they're covered. Good blocking. Look at his offensive line. He's checking his primary, his secondary. He hasn't got anywhere to go. Now he decides to go down with it.
Big Luther Henson closing in on him. Also coming was the veteran Julius Adams, number 85. Lester Williams putting on a rush in the middle as they go to the 4-down lineman on a long play, trying to loosen it up. Baltimore goes to the run. The linebackers stay home and knock it down after a gain of 4 yards to the 20. 35-year-old Julius Adams, who's been through a lot here in New England, and on some real good teams like the 76 club that went 11-3. And on some real bad ones, like the 81 club that went 2-14.
And he's worked as hard as anyone this year. 35 years old, the veteran on the line. You think he's a rookie the way he's gotten into the weight program, the running program, really helping Ron Meyer.
Meyer, in 6 years at SMU, took a team that was nowhere to the top of the tough Southwest Conference and came in here and had a winning season at New England last year. 3rd down and long. Here's the throw, and coming down with the ball is Bernard Henry of the Baltimore Colts, a little wide receiver out of Arizona State they like very much. But he is short on 3rd down after a 15-yard gain. So one of the best punters in pro football comes out, Ron Stark. First punt of the day.
We have 2 of the best punters in the league right now with Rich Camarillo and Stark. And along with Luke Prestwich in Denver, I think that's the 3 finest in the entire NFL.
Ricky Smith, number 27, back deep for New England.
Left-footed punter. The ball comes with that reverse spin. We'll see what happens.
Very high punt. Downfield, a great punt by Ron Stark, and a fumble into the end zone. It'll go as a muff. It'll be a touchback. Not a fumble, it's a muff. It goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 1st and 10 on the 20 for New England. A 62-yard punt, though, by Ron Stark. A decathlete, excellent all-around athlete out of Florida State, and a number 2 draft choice a year ago.
Career, but you see fundamental punting right here. His elbows out a little bit, getting the ball away from his body. Outstanding drop. It didn't drift down, and away it goes for just a fine punt. The 2 of these kids, I can't wait till we see Camarillo.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking about the holder Tony Eason, Jim, and they wanted Camarillo to hold. He was a high school quarterback, but the first preseason game they had him scheduled to do it. Warming up, he told the coach, "I'm just too nervous doing it. I don't think I can deliver for you." So consequently, they went back to Tony Eason, and they've had a problem missing 2 field goals and an extra point today, New England. Maybe not all the holder, but certainly the veteran kicker, some of it has to be due to that, a new holder.
Some of it has to be due to it, but you have to put it right back to the kicker. He's had such a good camp and preseason. He did miss a couple of short ones, but you know, it's too easy for us to go ahead and jump on Eason. And there's a young man that I would assume is in a learning process this year, but we noticed the first pass that was incompleted today, the fans jumped on Grogan immediately.
Tony Eason talking things over with Stephen Starring, who had the big play. His first reception as a New England Patriot, good for 73 yards and a touchdown. It put the Patriots in the lead, where they now stand 6-3 with 5:40 to play in the first half. Don Criqui with Jim Turner. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. Grogan wants some more of that long stuff. Down the field he throws, and Jeff Delaney, the strong safety, almost had the ball. He overthrew his intended receiver, Cedric Jones, who's not tall at 5'9", 5'10", but is an excellent leaper out of Duke. Grogan now has put up the ball 8 times, has completed 4 for 104 yards, and of course 1 for 73 yards in the touchdown.
And that touchdown to Starring has seemingly opened up the feeling of Grogan a little bit. You know, they were last, 28th in the NFL last year. That's not like a Patriot team with all the guns that they have.
Last in passing, they were indeed 28th. Now Starring, and they've got to be concerned about him. The corner certainly is, playing away off him. Stephen Starring comes out wide right. Goes in motion. Grogan takes a look, throws an out pattern. He goes to Starring, who catches the ball, is quickly hit. James Burrows, a cornerback out of Michigan State, knocked him down after a gain of about 4. They're short of the first down, so 4th down comes up and the punter comes out. Rich Camarillo of the University of Washington.
Ranked 4th last year in the NFL with a 43.7 average. Stark was 2nd. Prestridge in Denver was number 1. The kid is really on a weight program now with his coach, LeBaron Carruthers. So is John Smith. Very fine punter, trying to work to get the ball to the sideline. They've got a single back there, and you don't want to make this a nice ice cream kick and kick it down the pipe. Put it a little bit to the sideline. Another gorgeous punt.
Nesby Glasgow is back deep. He takes the ball at the 19-yard line, did well to field it, loses some people, and look at this little guy from Washington rip up the field and get to the 27-yard line.
But you see the theory of kicking the ball to the sideline. He has only 1 return, straight up the sideline.
That's right. Cut off, angled him off, and he did get ahead, though, after a 51-yard punt for an 8-yard return. And so the Colts go on offense with 4:39 left to play in the first half. New England still in the lead, 6-3. John Smith, the veteran place kicker for New England, looking on. So far, he's been unable to hit on 2 field goal attempts and an extra point, but his team still leads 6-3.
And he's got to forget about the failures, because he's going to kick again.
Ron Meyer, I knew him when he was a high school coach in Indiana. Out of Purdue, he was a backup quarterback to Bob Greasy. Here's a handoff on 1st and 10, and again on 1st down, the Colts get good yardage. Run the ball hard off the left side. Curtis Dickey running straight ahead out to the 33-yard line.
See a good shot at number 75, Chris Hinton. Look at his leg strength coming and taking on the linebacker right away, staying with him, coming to nice run right behind his hole. Look at that. You see why he was chosen probably the best offensive lineman in America. Broncos did not want to give that young man up.
Getting up another good block, and here is a run behind it, a free football. Patriots think they have the ball at the 39-yard line of Baltimore. And that is the official signal. Another New England recovery of a Baltimore fumble. So far the Colts have turned it over 3 times in the game. Julius Adams was down on the ball, and the Patriots down on the field right now. 55 down. Don Blackman, one of the outside linebackers. But another big play by the Patriot defense. They have the ball when we come back to Sullivan Stadium. With Jim Turner, this is Don Criqui back at Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Julius Adams, number 85, just recovered a fumble by the Baltimore Colts. A 3rd turnover by the Colts to the Patriots. And now with some 4 minutes to play in the first half, a Patriot is down, being attended to. Don Blackman, one of the linebackers, was hurt on the play. He's up, going off. We'll watch that fumble and the subsequent recovery again.
An excellent block by Hinton. You see what happens. It's a cutback by Curtis Dickey, but those linebackers pursue and hit so hard, shake the man right from the ball.
3 turnovers and 5 penalties have been the problems of Baltimore in this game. New England's played a pretty much error-free game.
And done in the past with Steve Grogan's career, after a turnover, interception, or a fumble recovery, he tries to go for the quick hit right away.
Let's see if he does now. We saw that quick hit a while ago on the only points of the game for New England. 73-yard touchdown pass play. Grogan is such an excellent faker. He'll take the snap, fake to a back with the empty hand, put the ball on his hip, and then wait. So somebody gets open deep, and he's got the flyer in Morgan, and now in Stephen Starring. Here's a rush, though, and down goes Grogan across midfield. Leo Wisniewski, number 69 from Penn State. Got by the very good offensive center of New England, Pete Brock, and got to the quarterback for a sack.
Just an outstanding play by Wisniewski, who is undersized against this offensive line. This is the exact reason why Frank Kush is so high on Wisniewski. See him in there. They've got everybody in the world on him, but it's one-on-one in this particular instance, and he takes Brock, gets the sack.
The fourth sack of this game for the Baltimore defense. They came in, heralded as a tough team to throw the ball against, and they've proven that, although they gave up the one big play that cost them the lead. Right now, New England with a 6-3 lead on second down and 19. Grogan stands in and throws, and the ball is dropped. Stanley Morgan hit him in a bad place. Right on the numbers.
Right on the numbers, between the 8 and the 6. This is something you rarely see. Such a clutch receiver, but he's driving the defender off, cutting back into the zone, into the lanes. Perfect pass. Perfect pass. You see it goes right off his fingertips. Loss of concentration by Stanley Morgan.
Grogan, with his veteran expertise, certainly demonstrates the experience, the stand-in strength. When every nerve in his body, like every quarterback, is screaming, get rid of it with that rush coming, he waits and waits. That time he threw a perfect strike that was dropped. 3rd and 19. Home run ball. Morgan's open. It'll be a touchdown, New England. The Baltimore Colts get beaten flat-footed, and Grogan with a great throw. Stanley Morgan was out there by himself by 15 yards, a 50-yard play and a touchdown.
And Baltimore in the... Don, they caught Baltimore in their nickel defense. The extra defensive back there. Grogan reads it right away. One-on-one coverage by the defensive back. You can't do it against Stanley Morgan. Just a pat and go right in his hands. Touchdown.
Effortless as the Colts give up a second touchdown ball to the long throw by Grogan. And here is an extra point this time. John Smith has it right there. So Grogan has completed 6 of 11 today for 163 yards. There he is, number 14, and 2 touchdowns. And the Patriots have opened up a...
On NFL 83 on our halftime report.
We'll be looking forward to that. Len Berman and the crew in New York, NFL 83. As right now, we have New England hitting on a couple of big plays, and they've gone out in front of the Baltimore Colts, 13-3. Here is an outside kick attempted. The Colts come up with it, though, so they'll start with good field position inside the 45-yard line of the New England Patriots. Ron Spears fell on the ball. Ron Meyer trying to throw a knuckleball at the Baltimore defense almost. So the Colts will have the ball at the 44-yard line of New England when we come back right after this.
First thing to realize on this onside kick, that John Smith is an ambidextrous kicker. The ball has to travel 10 yards if you're the kicking team, but not the receiving team. Good play by Spears going up and getting it.
Now let's see if Mike Pagel can go up top and get something for Baltimore. They need a big play, down 13-3 after leading through the first quarter 3-0. 2 long touchdown plays put the Patriots in the lead. Here's the long throw in the flat. Booza dives at the ball. Did he catch it? He thinks he got it. Official right there says no, and there's a penalty marker down in the New England secondary. This time the Colts, Jim, are signaling they're sure the call's against New England, but they've been sure every time, and this be the first penalty against the Patriots. It is.
Pagel took a pretty good hit on that one. That ball looked like a good completion to me.
Well, it's going to go against New England as the penalty is stepped off a 5-yarder down to the 39-yard line.
Holding 50 and 53 of the defense. First down.
Pagel able to turn the linebacker around, and he takes a crushing blow as he leaves the ball go. Look at that. Hurts his leg. You see the linebacker and everybody turned around. Well, we cannot see it with the official in the way.
It's a first down, though, as the ball's at the 39-yard line. On a holding by the linebacker, Zach Dixon running hard, almost split the defense. He got ahead inside the 35-yard line and down to the 32. Dixon, a hard-working back, 205-pounder out of Temple, wearing a flak jacket to protect the ribs.
And an old teammate of mine with the Denver Broncos, and you're right when you say hard worker. He doesn't have all the talent of a Curtis Dickey or a Tony Dorsett, but he is a hard worker.
So far, Baltimore has run the ball well in this game. They've got more offense, substantially more, other than the big plays that New England hit on, and those were the difference, the scoring plays. At 73 and 50 yards, here's Pagel. He's got a problem. Good pressure from the linebackers. That time, Andre Tippett, who is a linebacker out of Iowa in a down lineman position on the four-man rush, gets in. That's the second sack of Mike Pagel of Baltimore. The Colts have sacked Grogan 4 times in the first half.
Tippett's their designated rusher, a la Fred Dean of the 49ers, 6'3", 241. He is a giant of a man. Loves the position that he's put in on a rusher on the backside. Does a good job for him. He may be about the biggest lineman or linebacker that I've seen. You and I were amazed at his size.
They've got a lot of big ones, too. McGrew is 6'5", 235. Blackman, 6'4", 235. And Tippett bigger than all of them. The Colts got some hombres in there, too, and linebacking the insiders, Barry Krause and Johnny Cooks, both tip in about 250. Right now, the 2-minute warning is given. We'll be back right after this. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Don Criqui with Jim Turner, Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. Baltimore took an early lead on a 25-yard field goal. Then Grogan, who had his best camp in years and his best preseason, opened with a big play, the first score of the season for the Patriots, a 73-yard touchdown pass to a rookie, Stephen Starring. Right after that, he came back with another one to his ace, Stanley Morgan, for 50 yards. Right now, it's a 13-3 game. Here's a catch, though, as the Colts trail, looking for big plays. A throw inside the 30-yard line. Rick Sanford comes in, makes the play as Tracy Porter caught the ball, his second over-the-middle reception, a 9-yard gain.
New England in their typical pass rush situation with Tippett as a down lineman rather than the up linebacker that he is, but one-on-one pass coverage. They're going against the youngster, Ronnie Lippett, and we've talked about it quite a bit today. And I assume they'll go after him if he starts the second half.
Ronnie Lippett in there for the absent Mike Haynes, a consensus All-Pro ever since he came out of Arizona State. Out in a contract dispute. Here's a throw, and here is a beautiful defensive play by Raymond Claiborne from Texas, number 26. Ball was there, looked like it was caught, and wham! Bernard Henry caught the full brunt of Raymond Claiborne, who broke up the play. A good throw, though, Jim, by Pagel.
Good throw, but a great play by Claiborne, who led the league, I believe, last year in tipping the ball away from the receivers. Watch it. It is a good throw. The ball's in his hand. Claiborne goes for the hands, able to knock the ball away. It's a terrific play.
1:19 to go in the first half. NFL 83 coming up at halftime. A complete update on the scores and the stories from around the NFL on opening day. Pagel throws. It's overthrown, though. Again, he was going to little Bernard Henry, who is inside the 10 if the Colts could ever get into the end zone, and they have now 3rd and 10 play coming up before halftime. It would possibly ignite them in the second half. They need a big play, though. One more down to try to get the first down at least, and the field goal kicker warming up on the sideline. Raul Alegre led the Texas Longhorns in scoring the past 2 seasons. Signed with Dallas, cut by Dallas, showed up at Baltimore this week.
You gotta like what you see out of the offensive game plan of Baltimore right now. Of course, they're working on Tippett. That's what the coaches see from up in the booth, but they're not afraid to go at Claiborne twice in a row down there. They figure they may as well go at the best that's on the field for New England right away.
Mike Pagel wants some counsel from the sideline, so he's coming over to talk to for the best in baseball right here on NBC Sports. Quarterback Mike Pagel of Baltimore has thrown the ball 16 times. He's completed 8 for 156 yards, 1 interception. The Colts have also turned it over twice on 2 fumbles. So New England's defense has capitalized. The only 3 turnovers of the game have been committed by Baltimore. They've had a problem with the place kicking. Ron Meyer, 42 years old, the head coach, college backup players, quarterback at Purdue, hard driving coach, enthusiastic, and you do it his way or goodbye. What you pointed out earlier, Jim, it's the Ron Meyer way or the highway.
Yeah, I agree with that, as we've talked about before, but had a nice talk with John Hanna. John worked out any differences they may have had with each other, Ron Meyer and Hanna, some of the other veterans. Coach Meyer has loosened up a little bit, but he wants him to think football because it's a business.
Well, he took a 2-14 team, as the record shows, 2 years ago, And the Pats were 5-4 last season and made the playoffs in the expanded format. Pagel looks, throws, man's open. Matt Puza has the ball. He's got a first down to the 12-yard line with 1:06 to play. The clock still running. It's down to 1:03, down to a minute. Still running, a 16-yard gain on the play. Now the Colts take a timeout, but the clock is wound down to 55 seconds to go. So Pagel with a good throw and Matt Puza with a good pattern reception.
I can imagine having it so nice as a young quarterback, and even last year with Schleister and now with Herman in for Pagel, having their quarterback coach Zeke Bratkowski, who's played in so many big games in the NFL with the great Bart Starr, getting some pretty good guidance from the sidelines.
Bratkowski's record at one time at Green Bay. There's Mark Herman, who you know well, Jim, from Denver.
Well, I know him very well, and he's such a good man, and confused this year when they made the big trade with John Elway. He didn't know whether he wanted to play anymore, decided to come out, and I honestly believe, barring what we see right there, that left broken shoulder, he'd have been starting the game today.
Be back within 6 weeks, they hope. Unfortunately, if he had to break a collarbone, he did it on the left side, not his throwing arm side.
I think you're right.
Our producer today for NBC Sports is Peter Rolfe. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. As you see, a good house at newly named Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough on opening day 1983 for a rematch of these longtime AFC Eastern rivals, the Colts and the Patriots. It's a 13-3 game. New England's in the lead, but Baltimore's challenging with 55 seconds to play in the half. On first down, penalty markers go down. Pagel swings it out. He's got McMillan, who runs and crashes down to the 1-yard line. But there is a penalty marker down. And the margin of penalties is 5-1 against Baltimore. They were illegally in motion that time, so the play comes back.
Whatever happens to Baltimore down here right now, Don, they can't make the silly mistake, the fumble or the interception. At least come out of it with 3 points.
A legal motion. 47 seconds from halftime are we here at Foxborough. And at the half, we'll be swinging back to New York to NFL 83. The scores and the stories of
Offense, first down.
First and 15. The scores and the stories of opening day 1983. The John Elway debut at Pittsburgh. Going all right, at least so far. Some mistakes, but at last count, the Broncos had the lead.
Big game next week. Baltimore Broncos in Baltimore with John Elway.
And the Colts remind us there are a lot of good tickets remaining for that game at Memorial Stadium. Pagel throws. He's got a man. Touchdown. What a reception by Bernard Henry. A brilliant play by the little wideout from Arizona State. Bernard Henry goes up and comes down with the ball.
Well, and Don, you said it. What an outstanding reception. And if we can look at Raymond Claiborne, had a man-on-man. Excellent coverage, but what a catch. Pagel's athletic ability again. If he wanted to run with it, he could have taken it into the end zone. Watch the final result. A diving catch. Claiborne ready to knock the ball down. This is, it's a game of inches, and we saw it right there.
Next Sunday, NBC Sports will be doing a feature on Frank Kush, the Baltimore coach. I was pleased to go down to Baltimore and do that with him Thursday. Very interesting man with some very interesting things to say. You'll see that before the Baltimore-Denver game next Sunday. Here's the extra point up and good by Allegre. So the Colts are right back in the game, trailing 13-10. But one of the things I did see at that Thursday workout when they worked on the passing game, Jim, was Bernard Henry come in and catch some long balls. He was being cheered by his teammates and the coaches. I don't think the plan was to play him that much today till he had that big Thursday practice. They've gone to him, and he's gone up and then came down with the first touchdown of the season for the Baltimore Colts, and they're back in the game 13-10. Coming up next today, it's a battle of top quarterbacks. Richard Todd and Dan Fouts, as NBC Sports goes out to San Diego for an opening day showdown between two of the great teams in the AFC, the Jets and the Chargers. In some areas, you'll see the Seattle Seahawks take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up next, right here on NBC Sports. That's Hasselbeck, I believe, that's down.
Well, I was about to say, Don, I'm surprised. They do have the trade made. Shelby Jordan down Hasselbeck to the Oakland Raiders, contingent that they both report this week to the Raiders, or it's off. Not one. It has to be both of them. I'm somewhat surprised that he's in on as many plays as he is. If it's just the wind knocked out of him, there's no problem. But you'd imagine that on the West Coast, Al Davis has an offensive lineman laying in the grass, such as a Russ Washington just waved from San Diego Chargers, ready to play.
Hale does tend to stockpile people.
Well, they are one of the winningest organizations in football, and I don't take that away from them.
Baltimore Colts have been down in recent years as Hasselbeck comes out, but people tend to forget. They certainly don't in Baltimore. This is one of the great football traditions in the National Football League. In fact, 1983, the 25th anniversary of one of the great teams in NFL history, the Unitas Amici, Jim Parker championship team, Artie Donovan, Raymond Berry, Hall of Famers all. When they beat the Giants in that sudden death playoff at Yankee Stadium in '58.
Don, for years, they were the flagship team in the NFL. Everybody's pride. The town took pride in them. You'd like to see it come back. I'm somewhat surprised only 27,000 tickets sold for next week's game. They're trying to build up this big deal with John Elway, and it should be.
Don't want to leave Lenny Moore out when we talk about he is absolutely confident his system will work, and I believe his players believe it. Building the blocks from the ground up. New people and young ones. Here's Ricky Smith taking the kickoff. Ahead to the 20. Good special teams play, a fumble, and Baltimore might have the ball. So a dramatic turn of events. A first turnover going the Colts' way with 35 seconds left to play in the first half. Baltimore has the ball at the New England 20. So after scoring on a 16-yard touchdown throw, the Colts get another crack at the Patriot end zone.
You're talking about the misfortunes. The tackler going for the ball, pulling the ball out of his arm. Excellent opportunity now for the Colts. We were saying just a minute ago that they couldn't make the mistake, and we see what happens in New England.
Kendall Williams came up with the ball for Baltimore, so now the Patriots have the problem. The Colts, who were down 13-3 with less than a minute to play in the first half, now trailing 13-10, and certainly with a chance to at least tie if they don't get it on 3 downs and go to the field goal. Here's Pagel into the end zone, right back to Bernard Henry. The coverage is very good. Penalty marker is down on the field again. Mike Pagel has thrown the ball 19 times. He's completed 10 for 188 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And again, it looks like the call is going to go against the Colts because they're falling back.
Not a very good throw by Pagel, throwing it into the coverage, 3 men on the receiver, but going against Raymond Claiborne. When you've got a rookie on the other side, I wonder why the last 4 passes.
33, offense, first down.
Why their last 4 passes have been against such a pretty good veteran as Raymond Claiborne.
Curtis Dickey is called for the penalty that sets the ball back to the 30. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 20. 29 seconds to play in the first half. Pagel stands in, gets some time, takes a look. He's got to hurry. He does. Throws on the run. A man is open. Tip ball. It's incomplete. So close to another touchdown reception by Bernard Henry. A last-second play by Claiborne. You talked, Jim Turner, about him leading the league and breaking up passes. That was a very big breakup.
That's a big breakup. That might have been the turnaround of the game. But Pagel, once again, if he'd saw, you know, what he's doing, the coaches said, look, throw the ball, don't get killed. We've already lost 1 quarterback. He could have gone for several yards right here. But watch what Claiborne does. His forte, tipping the ball away from the receiver.
Just. So, with 21 seconds left to play in the first half, the ball's at the New England 30. 2nd down and 20 coming up. Wide to the right goes Bernard Henry, who caught the only touchdown of the game for Baltimore. The only Colt touchdown. The Patriots have 2. This time the rush comes, and Pagel goes down at the 34-yard line, and so does a penalty marker with 16 seconds to play in the half. Ron Spears was in to make the sack. Might be a hold against the Colts, and that is the signal.
And this would take them out of any effective field goal range, so they'll have to try to work it upfield again.
Well, they'll have the ball spotted back now to about the 40-yard line on the hold if they go. Line of scrimmage was the 30, and that is precisely the case as New England elects to take it. Move the ball back to the 40, take them out of field goal range. So with 16 seconds left to play in the first half.
Holding, 76, offense, 2nd down.
Jim Mills was called for it, right tackle, rookie from Hawaii.
New England in their nickel defense and their obvious pass rush situation with Tippett, number 56, linebacker down in a defensive end passing formation.
Somebody might have left early from their left side, and here is Pagel throwing a home run ball. People out there. Sherwin was the intended receiver, his tight end. He was there with the ball, but the coverage was good too. Kobe Williams puts a hard rush on Mike Pagel and leveled him just after he got rid of the ball. And again, we have a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. 10 seconds to play in the first half. Colts with a major penalty problem. They've been penalized 9 times for 65 yards so far in the first half. And they've turned the ball over 3 times, and yet they're right in the game, trailing 13-10. They've run up a lot of yards.
Offsides, number 90, defense, second down.
Williams got a little early jump, getting to Pagel. Second down, still coming up, but now only 10 seconds remain.
Are you surprised at the poise this young offense is showing?
I am, yeah, because they had absolutely a disastrous preseason. In 4 games, the Colts scored 5 touchdowns, won 2 of the games. But the offense scored only 3 of the touchdowns. 2 were by the defense. Timing pattern, a little too much on it. They looked at Henry after what he did for him in the end zone, catching the Colts' only touchdown of the day. 6 seconds left. Allegre is coming out, going to try a home run ball. Be a 52-yarder.
Be a 52-yarder. Might as well try the long ones early in the year. I have noticed, however, that the New England Patriots on these first 2 kicks have been able to get some very good penetration on the field goal team of the Baltimore Colts. We'll see right now. This is your time for the defensive team to do their all-out rush.
Allegre has tried 1 field goal. It was good for 25. He's made his only extra point try as a pro, and now he hits it plenty long. He really put a charge into it. It is good. Raul Allegre of the Colts hits a 52-yard field goal. And the game is tied at halftime, the final play of the half.
And that ball had a good 10 more yards distance on it.
All of that. Allegre detonates into the football. He's not big, but he can hit it a long way. And so the Colts rally back from a 13-3 deficit. And at halftime, they have the Patriots even up as they go to the locker room. NFL 83 is coming up. I'll report on all the scores and the stories. We'll be back with more after this. Time deadlock, 13-13. Spectacular play really by the rookie Raul Allegre, a kicker who came in from Texas as a free agent. Cut by Dallas. He hit a 25-yard field goal to open scoring in the game, and here it is.
And you love his enthusiasm. Watch this. Oh, that's nice.
But the best for Raul is yet to come. Now the Patriots hit on a big play. That's a rookie Stephen Starring running a fly, goes right by Larry Anderson and right on into the end zone. A 73-yard touchdown pass play. It was 6-3 at this point after a missed extra point.
And there's a great example of one-on-one coverage. Nobody covers Stanley Morgan one-on-one. Result touchdown.
That was a 50-yarder. Then a great play by the Colts late in the first half. A strike, a diving catch. Bernard Henry, a second-year player of Arizona State, puts the first touchdown of this season on the board for the Colts. And then in the final play of the half, Raul Allegre tries a 52-yard field goal, and he had it dead on. He would have been good from 62.
And right afterwards, he runs over to an old teammate, #1 draft choice last year in the league, Kenneth Sims, injured of the Patriots, gives him a big hug. College teammates.
Kenneth Sims, the #1 draft choice in the league last year. As we're ready now for the kickoff to open the second half. Allegre hits the ball downfield. He kicked a short one in the first half, you remember. Now it's Cedric Jones running it back, and Jones is out close to the 30-yard line. So the Patriots get good field position to open the third quarter. Statistically, the first half broke down as follows. The New England Patriots had total yardage of 190. The Baltimore Colts, who were not very productive offensively, had 248 first half yards on offense. They ran the ball well, and they passed the ball well. They did make mistakes with 9 penalties and 3 turnovers, but they've opened up with a lot of offense that just wasn't there in a 2-2 preseason. Handoff, running with the ball, Mark Van Egan, and he takes a hard thump at the line of scrimmage, and then, like the veteran fullback he is, keeps on trucking out to the 35 for a 5-yard gain. The 16th all-time leading rusher. Raiders got a couple of good ones out of Colgate. Marv Hubbard before him.
And he's ready to pass Floyd Little at any time. 4 more yards and he'll go up into the 15th slot. He's a breath of fresh air. Came in last year with discipline problems, dissension on the Patriots, and he's just turned it around himself with the other veterans.
Grogan throws hard and very nearly. Greg Braceland came up with an interception for Baltimore.
Braceland's an old teammate of mine also, the Broncos. Never known for hands. Grogan just he's always had the problem of watching his primary too long. Threw it right to Brace. Coaches won't let him forget this one. Watch. Right away, comes over, throws it right into the coverage of the linebacker, Greg Braceland.
But Brace was running it down and out. It was a down and in pattern.
And something that may stop that trade that we were talking about. Hasselbeck is not coming into the game for the second half.
No, he's not. Neither is Don Blackman, linebacker who was hurt in the first half. Third down and a long 4 now for New England. Game tied 13-13. Handoff, and Van Eegen has a first down and plenty more as he's not done till he gets out to the 47-yard line. Good run blocking off the right side for New England. Kreider, the right tackle, Brock, the center, Wooten, the guard, led the way.
And here's the guy that Ron Meyer had to look to last year with everybody saying, we don't want to play for a college coach. They looked at Mark Van Eegen, who's played on a group of so-called renegades with the Raiders. He says, look, the coach is the coach. Will rally around him, the perfect veteran to have on your ball club.
Another veteran ready now in the is the lone setback in the New England offense is Mosey Tutupu. He gets the call and Rose rolls on down for another New England first down. He runs the ball straight ahead, gets down to the 42-yard line. This is a powerful man at 6 feet, 228 pounds from Hawaii.
His blocking reminds me, you and I were talking about it 2 days ago, so much of an old teammate of mine, Matt Snell. When he comes up and blocks, he's just so tough. They think that he is the most popular man around. As soon as he made the run, the whole stand is saying, 2-2.
We saw him on the practice field yesterday. He had his lid on. He had that big Samoan hat on.
He was loose.
Here is a stick, a full stick by Johnny Cooks. An illustration of why he was the number 2 player drafted in the entire league last year after Kenneth Sims.
He had so much problem last year playing out of position at the linebacker spot. But look at him, put the helmet right in the chest. That's what they call a basic hit. He'll get a big +2 on that from the defensive coaches.
The Tupu's big, but he gives away about 25 pounds to this linebacker who comes in at 250. Johnny Cooks, number 98.
Exception of a couple of long bombs, that young Colt defense really is for real so far.
The offense had 184 yards passing the ball and 193 passing, 184 rushing the ball. But here is a sack as down goes Grogan for the 5th time they get him. Penalty markers down. Donnell Thompson came over the top and might have taken a shot at his head, which was all that was available.
Something they did not do all of last year was sack.
They call it a face mask.
Well, that's easy to do when you're in the huddle. Everybody's grabbing you, trying to get the man down.
"12 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. The outset, it was a 3-0 Baltimore game. New England came back on a couple of long scoring passes from Grogan to Starring, a rookie, and then to Morgan. They had a 13-3 lead. Then the Colts rallied in the final minute to score 10 points. 16-yard touchdown pass from Mike Pagel to Bernard Henry, and then on the closing play of the first half, a 52-yard field goal by the rookie Raul Allegre. And so the penalty is assessed. The ball's at the 47-yard line. It's 2nd down and 13 coming up. Draw play. Van Eegen running ahead. The Colt linebackers on that seek and destroy mission. Very quick and aggressive. Finally run him down on a gang tackle. Robert Weathers running the ball in the game again now. A big fullback from Arizona State. Very fast. And much stronger, as you pointed out, Jim, has been on the strength program as all these players have.
Well, their new coach handles just strictly the weightlifting. LeBaron Carruthers, a former world-class weightlifter, has the entire ball club on a weight program. And they've all getting now the smallest lineman in the entire team on offense is John Hanna at 270.
Jeff Delaney of the Colts is in the locker room. He's having his right shoulder extra. Here is a hit and a sack. What a pop put on by Vernon Maxwell. They say he's so quick, if he's not blocked right away, you're not going to block him at all.
And John Hanna didn't see it. He took the nose tackle rather than seeing Vernon Maxwell slide in. You see, it's a delayed. He'll come in. Hanna goes to the inside, turns his back. There's no quick. Grogan has no chance.
What a play.
Lucky he didn't drop the ball.
I tell you, it says a lot for Grogan. The Colts have now sacked New England quarterback Grogan 6 times.
Half of their total output for the entire 1982 season already today.
Interesting point. That's right. They had 12 sacks in a 9-game season. They got 6 already. Now, Rich Camarillo hits a long punt downfield. Nesby Glasgow signals for and makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line. We've seen Maxwell with 2 sacks in this game. A 53-yard punt by Camarillo.
I am really impressed with the speed of Vernon Maxwell.
What did he tell you before the game, Jim, when you asked him about sacking the quarterback?
He said it was easy. I was kind of stunned when he said, I've got no problem.
So far it has been. We'll be back after this.
Don, a definite difference in the defensive team of the Colts this year. Last year, their coordinator was Bud Carson. You see him working on the bench right now, but I was with Barry Krause and Greg Braceland, 2 linebackers for the Colts last night. And Carson is no longer with them, an excellent defensive coordinator. They're talking about it. There's Greg Braceland, number 52, and Krause, 55. They've said what they've done this year is simplify Carson's ruling so that it's so much easier for the linebackers not to be confused.
There's been some confusion today on pass coverage. Both these teams have hit some big plays. The wide open receivers. Here is a run play now on 1st down and 10 from the 10-yard line, and New England's defense comes out smoking. Andre Tippett, 56, was on the tackle. Ron Meyer, when we saw him at practice yesterday, had a chance to ask about the differences between coaching at college level at SMU in the Southwest Conference and the pros, and Meyer said there's 2 major differences. One, the length of the season. He said 4 preseason games and 16 regular season games is a long time. He hasn't even experienced that yet because he was here in a strike year. He said the other is the unbelievable quality of the athletes at every position, the quickness of the game. It's so much faster even though they're so much bigger.
And that carries on with Tony Eason. We were talking with him yesterday, and I was asking him what the hardest thing is for a young quarterback to come in. He says it's the reaction time of the defensive backs and the cornerbacks. You can throw the ball on the money, but they can still break on the ball and knock it down. And then there's the youngster that they feel that we'll have this year as a grooming year out of Illinois. Has a very fine relationship with the veteran quarterback, Steve Grogan. Grogan's been helping him a great deal.
Eason has great potential, set a lot of Big Ten passing records at Illinois. 3rd down coming up now for Mike Pagel in the Baltimore offense at their 15-yard line. Time, you got to get rid of it. Lund loads it too long, and so the Patriots could come out of this with good field position as Baltimore now has to punt, and they'll do it from down by their goal line. Line of scrimmage, the 15-yard line. Ron Stark, who tried one today and hit it a career-high 62 yards out there.
I'd be very surprised, as good as Ron Stark is, I'd be very surprised with just a single return man back if he punts the ball down the middle and lets him have any return he wants. You want to get the ball to the sideline. You lose a touch of distance, but he's kicking from the goal line right now. Put him on the sideline.
A 13-13 game. Patriots jumping in and out of the gaps in the offensive front of blocking front. Here is another high cut downfield. Ricky Smith takes the ball, heads right back, gets a break. Here's a channel of blockers, and Ricky Smith has one man to beat. And he's swept under as he is held up at the 32-yard line. But New England, after a 58-yard punt, gets a tremendous return from Ricky Smith. James Burrows finally knocked him down, but the Patriots have big field position.
And it's exactly what I was talking about. Put it right down the middle and give Ricky Smith any return he wants. He goes up to the middle and then runs it to the side. You don't let these dangerous people like Smith and Upchurch have their choice. He takes it to the middle and then breaks off, and you see the result of just a marvelous punt return. It's a mistake by the punter, Ron Stark.
He punted it a long way, 58 yards, but it came back a long way. 44-yard return by Ricky Smith. So now the Patriots mount a challenge with a 1st and 10. Up the middle goes Van Egan, but not for much. Mark Van Egan takes it down to the 27-yard line, trying to move out behind the big people in the middle. Hanna, Brock, and Wooten. Don Hasselbeck, you talked to him about that could negate the trade. He's ticketed to go to the L.A. Raiders.
Well, they said if anybody gets injured, it'll probably break it, or if they don't both report, they being Hasselbeck and Shelby Jordan, they both have to go to make the trade work out.
An elbow injury. It's now 2nd down and 8. Tony Collins, who's been quiet for a while, they've gone primarily to Van Egan, takes the ball wide and gets to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Now while we have a moment, let's get another update from New York as we go to NFL 83.
Thank you, Don Criqui. Len Berman in New York. John Elway is now out of the game in Pittsburgh with a sore elbow. Steve DeBerg has replaced him. Pittsburgh is treating him the same way they treated Elway. This led to a field goal. Pittsburgh leads by 3. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, Len. Interesting ball game. I think a lot of people, Jim, myself included, look for Pittsburgh's defense to get after Elway and maybe dominate the game, but it's not been the case.
Well, you can't count out the Orange Crush defense. They are still a very fine ball club.
Grogan runs. Penalty markers are down on both sides of the field, but Grogan in this tie game advances the ball down to the 22, but we have to await the official ruling. 2 markers down at the line of scrimmage. Now become an overcast day in New England. Very hot and humid. Does not appear to be a threat of rain. Well, this is the type of day where it can open up late in the day with all this humidity. You were down in the field before the game, Jim, and you thought temperatures way over 100.
Had to be 110 on the artificial turf. You know, you start thinking about Don Hasselbeck. They told him yesterday that things were popping, what went on in his mind last night and in today. He'd be the perfect addition to the Oakland Raiders, or the LA Raiders, excuse me. But the thing about it is Shelby Jordan is 6-7 weeks away from playing. The man's not in shape to play football.
Offsides, 99, defense, first down.
A 10th penalty call against the Colts, an offside against Donnell Thompson. So Hasselbeck and the Raiders, or the Patriots, look out. He's not, might be a Raider.
I don't think an elbow injury would keep him away from Al Davis.
Moot point right now. We'll see how bad the elbow injury is. He's headed west. Handoff up the middle. The Patriots go with the run, and Van Egan takes it down to the 15-yard line. Right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WMAR-TV, Maryland's leader in sports broadcasting.
Hot and humid on opening day in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Patriots and the Baltimore Colts, longtime rivals in the AFC East, opening this 83 season. Don Criqui with Jim Turner. The game is tied as it was at halftime, 13-13. But now with a 1st and 5, the Patriots in good position. They go to the run. Braceland comes up from the left linebacker spot and makes the knockdown of Mark Van Egan. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Patriots are doing what they've done best, and they were the 2nd best in the entire NFL last year. Just rush the ball between just a giant offensive line of John Hanna at 270, Pete Brock 270, Ron Wooten 273, and they're just going to try to blow Wisniewski and Donnell Thompson off the ball. The toughest yards are from the 15-yard line and into the goal line.
A lot less territory for that defense to protect. As we have to dig into hard territory, into hard turf to get ahead. Now it's 3rd down and about 4. Grogan dropping for the Patriots. Here's another blitz. He gets away. Then he's level as the Baltimore Colts came with a linebacker blitz. Johnny Cooks was a coming, and so was Greg Braceland. They both got him. 7 sacks of Grogan.
Take a look at the defensive line rush. It's just been outstanding all day. What we've heard about is coming true. Put a tremendous rush on him. Jose Taylor makes the initial hit, and they take Grogan down. There's too much traffic in there for the quarterback to get out of.
So that brings up a 40-yard field goal attempt. 4th down and 12, and John Smith, who's missed 2 field goals from shorter distances and also has missed an extra point, will try again. Made 1 extra point. Hits it hard and knocks it through. And the tie is broken, and the Patriots open up a 16-13 lead. But we've got a long way to go here in Foxborough. 6 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. So we'll be back with the New England kickoff right after this.
Out of the kicking tee, John Smith's going to hit the ball off of, developed by a soccer kicker, Jan Stenerud, 4 soccer players. There's an extra prong on there so they can lean it into their kick.
It's a high kicking tee, and it's a high, long kick taken by Zach Dixon in the end zone. He decides to bring it out. Perhaps not a wise move. It was not, as he's down at the 12-yard line. Mosey Tatupu, who runs the ball, catches it, blocks, and also covers on special teams, was down to make the play.
Special teams captain Mosey Tatupu. An excellent kick by Smith, putting it in the end zone, but putting it in the corner. We've talked about the corner kicks by the punters and the kickoff men. A mistake by Zach Dixon. He should have stayed in.
But the Colts have made mistakes, and many of them earlier in this game, and they've made a lot of great plays, highlighted by a very aggressive defense that's already sacked Grogan of the New England Patriots 7 times. The Colts seeming to find a way to fight back. They scored 10 points in the final minute of the first quarter, of the first half, to tie the game at 13. Now they trailed as Baltimore 16-13. Timing pattern in the flat. In and out of the hands of Bernard Henry behind him on the play.
Ball thrown just a little bit too quick by Mike Pagel. He's not patient enough on this type of pass. The receiver got too far downfield. What they're doing, though, just continually amazes me throughout the ball game. Going against the veteran number 26 Raymond Claiborne instead of the other side against Lippett.
We talked to him about the offense of Baltimore, which was so non-existent in the preseason. Today, the Colts have 253 yards total offense to 194 for New England. But the Patriots have the bottom line right now. They have a 16-13 lead. Going to the run are the Baltimore Colts. Taking the ball is Randy McMillan ahead. He's going to bring up third down and about 2 after a gain of almost 9 yards. It'll be about 1.5 yards short of a first down.
McMillan had his best rushing game ever a couple years ago against the New England Pats, and since then he's kind of backed off, and the Colts were wondering if they'd ever made a mistake with him. He's showing some pretty good power today.
Well, they came out ready to play football today, despite the penalties and the turnovers. Baltimore hanging tough. Here's a running play. They go to Curtis Dickey. And there's about 4 people in the world faster than him, and none of them play for New England. So if he gets around the corner,
he's gone.
Adios.
That's right. He is gone. I saw him turn the corner on the Denver Broncos for 63 yards a couple of years ago. You see what happens to the linebackers, and everybody's coming down blocking them. Beautiful move right there. 2 men take themselves out. You're talking about 4-4 speed in football. Puts the ball to the opposite side, takes the ball to go out, but ensures the fact that he won't fumble by putting the ball away from the helmet.
Well, he's now gained 48 yards. It's Curtis Dickey on 10 carries. I remember your old teammate George Sauer Jr., the receiver, said, he said, I'm faster than 95% of the people in this league, but the 5% I'm not are cornerbacks. A long swing pass. They were trying to get it out to Curtis Dickey, isolating him on Andre Tippett, the linebacker. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And you see they've decided to come back and try to go to the opposite side against Lippett. Here's Tippett. He's so big, and they've got him one-on-one with a world-class sprinter. Falls down. This is the thing I talked about with Rod Russ yesterday, their defensive coordinator. He really doesn't want a linebacker this size isolated on a person like Curtis Dickey with his speed.
That overmatch we talked about, trying to isolate against a defensive player who can't contain the speed. 2nd down and 10 for Pagel and the Colts. They look for the run. They get some room. Right ahead is Randy McMillan running dangerously, the ball in one hand as he's right in the heart of the New England defense. Fred Marion, a free safety, came up to knock him down. Gary was straight ahead. It was actually Curtis Dickey taking the ball out to the 43-yard line, so he's going to be just short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and less than 1 yard.
And they're getting some outstanding play from Curtis Dickey today. He's enthusiastic. He's showing some drive that he hasn't shown before. I think Frank Kush is going to be very pleased with his actions today.
Next week, the Patriots have a tough one. They head on down to Florida to play the Miami Dolphins, currently leading Buffalo 9-0 in the 4th quarter, early in the 4th quarter. And, of course, the Baltimore Colts head back to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore to play John Elway and the Broncos.
Probably going to be an over-publicized game. John Elway did what I would have done. He exercised an option, something football players haven't had for years. Do you really think, Don, that O.J. Simpson would have gone to Buffalo if he'd have had an option? No, he wouldn't. I don't know why people are so down on John Elway. May not have played baseball, but he had an option, and evidently the Colts bought on it.
Well, I think they're down on him in Baltimore because he said he didn't want to play for the Colts or he didn't want to play in the city of Baltimore. That is his option. It's also the option of the Colt fans not to like him, which they don't.
But I talked to him. Oh, perfect pass to
Tim Sherwin, the tight end. Baltimore has a lot longer and prouder football tradition than John Elway has. Maybe he will be another John Unitas, but he's going to have to be great for 12 or 15 years to do it.
Excellent point. You notice Pagel coming back to the big target here. So it's the man that's coming across and running a drag pattern upfield But see the side, you see exactly from behind the quarterback, wide open, splitting the seam. Sherwin's having a good day. Getting back to Elway, he tells me, and I've been out there almost every day watching practice, that he didn't make the statement about the city of Baltimore.
He did not.
Yes, that's what he said. He didn't want to play for the Colts football team, but he didn't say anything about the city, and I happen to believe him.
Well, the way things turn out, they still don't like him, so it's going to be interesting next Sunday.
That's it. There you go.
First and 10, Baltimore goes to the run. McMillan takes it straight ahead and gets down to about the 28, 27. The Baltimore line is young. There's only one returner from last year. That's the center, Ray Donaldson, and he's a good one, 53.
And it's tough to just believe that this whole ball club is younger than last year. With the addition of Hinton in there and the growth of Donaldson, I like what you can see as far as the development for protection of the quarterback, being able to use the passing game with these young offensive linemen.
Chris Hinton, troubled by a bad knee, was in for a while and really blocked well, but for the most part it's been up going at left guard, then up. Here's a run and a good one down inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line as Baltimore comes off the ball, smoking and pounds away at the New England defense. McMillan, who played on a national championship team at Pittsburgh, runs hard again. Down to the 17, the Colts trailing 16-13, challenging.
You can see the beautiful blocking by his offensive line, a nice lead block, and able to take it in by himself, but all originated with what we've been talking about, somewhat surprised with today, this young offensive line.
It's really been a surprise.
It has
no
been.
question. The defense, they expected to be good. It's been better than that, except for the two blown coverages where Grogan caught him and hit for long touchdowns. 7 sacks, though, for Baltimore. Here's a throw and a catch, and a drop down at the 2. It was a tough ball to come in on. Matt Booza showing a lot of heart, though, coming in, looking back at the ball, coming right into the teeth of the defense.
And they've been working on number 42 today, but I got to tell you that outstanding coverage by the rookie from Miami, Florida, Ron Lippett, all over the offensive player. Nobody yelling that it was interference. Look at the coverage. Right in there, hits the ball away from his hands. That's nice. That's going to be a good morale builder for young Lippett.
A nervous morale builder, but a good one.
A nervous one, but a good one.
Second down and 10 now as the ball's down to the 17-yard line. 16-13, late in the third quarter. New England leads, Baltimore challenges, and they go to the run straight ahead to the 13-yard line. They're certainly within Allegre's field goal range. He's shown what he can do from 52 yards. He popped one from there. We got another from 25 for Baltimore.
We're not kidding anybody, Don. Lippett is certainly not covering a John Stallworth or Lofton or Jefferson, so when he runs up against those teams, they're going to put him to the wall. Good picture of the young kicker who's had an outstanding today, Raul Allegre. I like his attitude. Seems like he wants to get out there and really prove to Frank Cush he made a good move this week by cutting Danny Moore.
So far, it has looked like a good move. Here's Pagel throwing into the end zone. A man goes down. There's no penalty. Sherwin apparently just tripped. Now there's a penalty in the backfield of the Baltimore Colts.
Roughing the quarterback.
Whoa, that's a first down for the Baltimore Colts with 1:51 to go in the third quarter. They took a shot at Pagel. You got to like the looks of Pagel, Jim.
I really am impressed. We had him several times last year, and he was too quick to get out of the pocket. Sherwin just fell down. Otherwise, a pretty good pass. You know what he's showing? He's showing the fact that this is his second year as a starter. Second time around with Coach Cush and his ideas, his plays, and Bratkowski. Zeke has had an opportunity to work with him that much more. Showing a lot of poise. Last year, you'll remember, he was ready to get out of there.
Number 50, defense, first down.
Larry McGrew, a big linebacker coming from the left outside from Southern California for New England, number 50. Big, 6'5", almost 240. Watch the lower left corner of your screen. You'll see them come in. Sanford coming on a blitz, and then McGrew hits him late.
Oh, good call. The ball's 5 yards away from his hand.
And a good look by our NBC cameras at how it happened. And now a running play, and taking it down to the 5-yard line after the penalty is Curtis Dickey. So the Colts are challenging for what would be a go-ahead touchdown if they get it. Larry McGrew made the knockdown on the play. It's been a good football game.
It's been a very good football game, these two teams. We're not talking about two teams that are going to go to the Super Bowl. I think that's obvious to everybody, but it has been an entertaining game. I think what Zeke Bratkowski is doing right now is just try to help his young quarterback. Don't make the mistake. You're looking at some pretty fine veterans on defense, and if he does call a pass in here, either eat the ball if there's nothing. Don't make that mistake that steals 3 points away from you at least.
And they did have the 3 turnovers. Here's a pitch back. McMillan runs hard, puts his head down. is down close to the 5-yard line. Another good play by McGrew at the left outside.
Great hit by McGrew, but I want to tell you, McMillan made him pay for it. We heard it all the way up here in the booth. Look at that. Lower the shoulder into him. Two fine professionals doing their job at the best right there.
Game clock down to 1:07 to play in the third quarter on opening day 1983. Bernard Henry, who has caught the only touchdown pass of this game for Baltimore. Their only touchdown wide to the right. Curtis Dickey moves in motion to the right. Pagel's looking into the end zone. There's a hard throw. It's a touchdown, Baltimore. Up with the ball is Bernard Henry. This man is a terror. He's not big, but he's put up the Colts 2 touchdowns to this day on great receptions from Pagel. And Baltimore takes the lead 19-16.
Just an outstanding play by Pagel and Henry, trying to drive him into the end zone, and they didn't bite on it, so he pulls up right on the goal line. Pagel knows he's got to rifle it, as he does right there. He's in the end zone now, so it's a touchdown. He just jumps back in. That's a fine throw.
Ernie Accorsi, the very astute general manager of the Baltimore team, said the one thing we really need, if we can acquire it, is a rangy wide receiver to team with Butler. Well, so far today, Butler hadn't been here. He hasn't done anything so far. But Bernard Henry has gotten a chance to play, has been great. 2 touchdown receptions. And again, Allegre is right there with the point after. He's not missed a thing today. 2 field goals, 2 extra points. And the Colts have taken the lead 20-16. They've not led in this game, you remember, since Allegre's first field goal in the first quarter when they took a 3-0 lead and then fell behind 13-3. Coach Cush likes the young men from Arizona State, and there's one of them, Bernard Henry, who's been in the end zone twice. 20-16 on a second touchdown completion from Mike Pagel to Bernard Henry. Deep man back in the middle is Rick Smith for New England. You'll recall his 44-yard punt return. Now he muffs the ball into the end zone, so it'll be down for a touchback. And come out to the 21st and 10.
That's his second fumble on a kicking game today. Something you cannot afford your special teams to have any effect on the game for you in a negative way.
Jim, what percentage of the game would you assess from all the computer printouts and all the statistics they compile the kicking game is in the outcome of a football game on the average?
Between, I would say, 25 and 29% of every game. That's the offensive kicks, the defensive returns, the whole thing. It's a major factor.
The thing that amazed me is how many of the total plays are kicking plays, either kickoffs, punts, field goals, extra points.
Spend a lot of time on that.
First down and 10 now for New England. Patriots trailing 20-16. They go to the run, and Robert Weathers cuts back. Look out, look out, look out. Robert Weathers, a sprinter from Arizona State. One man has the angle on him, heading down to the corner, and Weathers is pushed out of bounds down at the 2-yard line. So again, the Patriots strike on the big play. Penalty marker down where he was tackled. A 77-yard run from scrimmage. Derek Hatchett finally got him.
This is what they've been waiting for out of Robert Weathers, the leader in preseason on their team, and they've just enjoyed him. Gained 12 pounds over the season on their weight program. Watch how he's able to cut up the middle, take it to the outside. Nice play by number 42, Derek Hatchett, to take the angle and take him out of bounds. But look at that. Full speed. Beautiful blocking by their offensive line.
Great run by Robert Weathers, 77 yards from scrimmage. Really, the Patriot offense has been big plays today. 73-yard touchdown pass, a 50-yard touchdown pass, and now the 77-yard touchdown run that might set up the go-ahead points. Derek Hatchett never quit, though. Now there's going to be a penalty stepped off, a very important one. Holding was called against the man trying to block Derek Hatchett. Cedric Jones called for a foul, so instead of having it 1st and goal inside the 5, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. A major difference, particularly against a defense like this one.
Certainly is. An outstanding job done by John Hanna and Pete Brock, and a guard of the future, I think. Big Ron Wooten doing a good job, number 61.
42 seconds to play in the third quarter. Grogan play faking. Cedric Jones going into the end zone, and Grogan skips the ball in, did well to get rid of it as Greg Braceland was coming on a blitz.
But he did have the man for 6. Short-armed it, threw it down. Had the man for 6.
Grogan with 2 touchdown throws today.
We're able to see it. The man is wide open. Good faking by Grogan. There is a player in his face. Throws the ball down from Stanley Morgan. Look at him grab his hamstring. We've seen this too much in track, and he is taking himself out of the game going off the field. Look at that.
This looked like a severe pull, but they know when they have to go out. Big play by Braceland. You're right, Jim. That would have been a touchdown. Morgan was there. Braceland in his face stopped it, so now it's 2nd down and 10. Here's a throw and a reception down to the 10-yard line for a gain of 3. Catching the ball was Clarence Weathers, a rookie, number 82. 3rd down comes up.
Somewhat of a strange play for a veteran quarterback like Steve Grogan. Put the man in motion, throw to him. You're trying to get an isolate, as we've been talking about all day, but only going for a 3-yard gain.
In the whole spectrum of things, so many big plays come up. The Robert Weathers one was certainly one, but Derek Hatchett's play could have been a game saver. He didn't quit. He kept on going. He fought by a blocker, knocked Weathers out of bounds before he got in the end zone, and also drew a penalty because Cedric Jones had to foul him to keep him from getting to Weathers sooner. Now that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after. That's right. They had problems dropping the ball.
Yes,
the 2 Patriots tight ends in preseason. Coach Cush, who's not had a win in the NFL, he sure had a lot of other places he's been. As teams at Arizona State won over 76% of their games in 21 years. One of the great records in history. Went to Canada, took over a journeyman Hamilton team. They won the Eastern Conference his first year there and went to the Grey Cup. Now he comes here and goes 0-8-1. I asked him if he thought he lost his winning touch. He said, no, you're not going to do it with a team like I inherited the first year.
Well, not only the team that he inherited, but a lot of miscommunication with management also in the past.
We'll get into that. Grogan rolls on 3rd down, looks into the end zone. He's intercepted by Braceland. Greg Braceland of the Colts, who was in Grogan's face in an earlier touchdown throw, comes up and intercepts again, and the ball is out to the 25-yard line.
Rolled it over to his right, threw the ball into the strength of the coverage. Braceland, who's been a major factor now in the past quarter, especially the play before this one, throws it right second. Watch it. He's rolling into the coverage, a lot of traffic. There's no room to throw the ball to his receiver. Nice play, nice leap by Greg Braceland. Braceland is continually stressing to me earlier on that they really like the new defensive theory that they have. Everything has been just made so much easier. The reads are easier now than they were last year.
Well, they simplified it. It certainly works, and Grogan wants to get on the horn and talk to his offensive coaches. See, where did we go wrong? A 2nd interception now of Grogan. We'll be back right after this. Intercepting Steve Grogan on the sidelines now, wondering where it went wrong, as it looked like the Patriots were going to go in after the 77-yard run by Robert Weathers. But Baltimore gets the turnover and holds the lead 2016, 14:51 to play in the game early in the 4th quarter. Don Criqui with Jim Turner on a hot and humid and now overcast day in New England. Running hard is McMillan. Randy McMillan turns the corner on a 1st down carry and gets across the 30 all the way out to the 34-yard line. A very fast back for his side.
Don, the defensive team has really helped the offensive team. You notice that McMillan knew he wasn't going to make a major amount of yardage, but still taking the ball attitude-wise. We were talking about Frank Cush and what a leader he is. It's tough, as I said at the outset of the game, to develop experience when the coach gets rid of 30 players last year, 20 new ones this year. It's going to be tough, but you see the Frank Cush attitude. Don't give up.
Sure haven't done that. Neither has New England. 2nd down and 2. Second back through is Curtis Dickey. 1st down, Baltimore. But those red shirts are going for the football. Patriots got a couple of fumbles earlier in the game. The scores come in. Mike Pagel directing the offense all day long and very well. He's thrown the ball 26 times, completed 12 for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. The scores right now in the 4th quarter, LA Raiders 20-3 over Cincinnati. Miami now leading Buffalo 12-0 in the 4th quarter on 4 Uwe von Schaumann field goals. Pittsburgh holds to a 10-7 lead over Denver in the 3rd quarter. The Rams lead the favored Giants 16-6. That is in the 3rd quarter, as the Colts go to the run on 1st down. Minnesota's opened up a 27-14 lead over the Cleveland Browns. That game now late in the 3rd quarter. Another NFC game. The Chicago Bears in a back-and-forth game have taken a 17-13 lead over the Atlanta Falcons. The Green Bay Packers have opened up a 31-17 lead over the Houston Oilers. They're playing at the Astrodome. All opening day action, NFL 83. Don Criqui with Jim Turner here in Foxborough at Sullivan Stadium. We're at 2nd down and 7. Baltimore has the ball, and the New England defense has the carrier. Dickey didn't get a thing. Never got out of the blocks. Steve Nelson was through first.
Play didn't start cleanly. Dickey took too wide of an angle, and the quarterback's having an extremely hard time trying to get the ball to him too deep in the backfield. To be able to watch the confusion with the quarterback, watch Nelson, the veteran, going right on the inside block of the guard. Pagel wasn't able to get the ball to him. It just was not a clean play.
They say, Jim, that Nelson, when the 40-yard measuring device of time for a barometer for pro football players, really isn't that fast. But when you measure his reactions, he's phenomenally quick.
The linebackers work out of a box. Their area is a 15-yard box, and you don't have to be a world-class sprinter to work in there. Just know your responsibilities.
Pagel stands in. He has a man. Matt Booza has the ball out to the 45-yard line. On a 3rd down play, they got 10, but they're going to be about a yard short of a 1st down.
And once again, working on the man that we've been talking about. We're not picking on him, Ron Lippett, but we know the offensive coaches are sitting right up here against us. He's just giving too big of a cushion, and Booza, Pagel now have worked together for 2 years, and they know, break it off, take the pass.
Booza had to come back to the ball a little bit, could not quite get to the chain marker, so 4th down arises, and Ron Stark is in to punt, but this time he might put the Patriots in the hole. As their return man, Ricky Smith, right there.
And he's fumbled the last 2 kicks.
Kickoffs.
That's right.
Last punt he returned 44 yards, though. Having trouble handling the kickoffs, he's let 2 spin down into the end zone for touchbacks. Knuckleball downfield. From the 10, here comes Ricky Smith. Sanders Shiver, special teamer, coming down along with Gary Pagel, another linebacker, number 60. Pagel was the first there. 45-yard punt by Stark, a 9-yard return by Ricky Smith. So with 12:31 left to play, the Patriots have the ball. They trail in the game 20-16. We'll see what Grogan in New England can do. Last time you recall, they were stopped by an interception. King wounded on the sideline on the New England side of the field. 2 very important players, particularly the man sitting down, Kenneth Sims, the defensive end, who's out for up to 6 weeks with a cracked leg bone, and Don Hasselbeck, the tight end, number 80, in front of him, went out with an elbow injury in the 1st half.
He said Sims was playing very good football, expected as he was the #1 draft choice last year.
New England opening up with 2 wide receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. Tony Collins comes back from the right side as Grogan stands in. They give him some time. This time he lofts one downfield, but it's over the outstretched hands of his intended receiver, and they start to boo Grogan. He was going for Clarence Weathers.
Well, the fans are pretty tough in Boston, and I mean in the New England area, you know it and I know it. I have to think that Steve Grogan is just a little bit flustered. He threw a bad play down at the interception of Braceland, had Collins wide open, just an overthrow. Bad play. You have to think that over the year, he's worked hard, but they drafted Eason, all the publicity and all of these quarterbacks. It does catch up to a quarterback, no matter how calm and collected he may act as a veteran. He knows there's somebody on the sideline that's going to play pretty soon.
We just saw him, Tony Eason. Grogan, though, the incumbent, Matt Cavanaugh, traded to San Francisco. Swing pass. This is Weathers, who went 77 yards the last time he had his hands on the ball. Getting ahead on a 2nd down and 10 play ahead for about 8 yards. He is so quick, Robert Weathers. Frank Kush was the man who recruited him to Arizona State also. 2 wide receivers right, 3rd down and 3. 1 set to the left. To the run. Here's Weathers, turns the corner, and he's got the 1st down for the Patriots.
I'm impressed with Robert Weathers' play this year, as I was Tony Collins last year. Able to take the ball up the middle on a run or run it around the corner. Also able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Very versatile. Taking it on a trap block by the guard, Ron Wooten, number 61. Able to run around Vernon Maxwell and gain some pretty important yardage for the Pats.
Weathers has got some nice numbers today, Jim. 5 carries, 90 yards.
He's an impressive football player. Not the biggest by stature, but his heart and the way he takes the ball on the inside, doesn't back off from anything.
He got him a 1st down on the last carry. Grogan stands in, lets her rip. Ball is caught and then dropped. Going for it was Darrell Wilson. He was the second-round draft choice of the Patriots out of Tennessee. Has not pleased his coaches so far.
No, he has. In this type of play, you know the receiver is going to hit you. You have to go down 10, 12 yards and hook up. You know he's coming. You can feel it. I have a feeling that he took his eyes off the ball, anticipating the hit rather than making the catch into the body first.
I've done that.
I would imagine I would too if I was a wide receiver.
Grogan in the second half is only 2 for 7 for 11 yards. Get those home run balls in the first half. Tony Collins runs with the ball, and tough Tony takes it across the 35-yard line on the second down and 10. Peter Rolfe, our producer, has just been in contact with the Patriot bench, and Stanley Morgan is out for the rest of the game with a pulled hamstring. Not a happy development for Ron Meyer. Now here's a Baltimore Colt down. Looks like the free safety Nesby Glasgow. Great little player.
He's an outstanding player, and not a very big man at 5'10", 180 out of Washington. They like him very much. With Morgan out, you notice how they're utilizing Robert Weathers, his speed, his catching ability, and Tony Collins also.
We'll be back after this. We're happy to report that Nesby Glasgow bounced right up. The last time you saw him, he was flat on his back in pain, but he's all right, no limp. Came off the field, and he'll probably be back in. Here's Stanley Morgan, who we're told will not be back in, Jim, with the pulled hamstring.
Well, you can see they've got it iced down right now, and he's a thoroughbred, and you just don't want to take a chance on that. He may lose him for the entire season.
Third down and 2. Collins in motion. Grogan, good fake, takes a look, swings it out. There's the man. Lynn Dawson, his tight end, gets the ball. He's ahead for a New England first down. A well-executed play by the Patriots as they cross midfield with a 13-yard gain.
Well, Grogan taking the ball to motion, but what you notice is they finally come to the other tight end. Hasselbeck, of course, is out with an elbow injury, but Lynn Dawson's been open several times. Nice fake by Grogan. We've talked about his ability to do that. And Lynn Dawson wide open because everybody went downfield with Tony Collins.
You know, we see so many different formations. There seems to be more all the time. I guess that's the trend now.
That's the trend. What you're trying to do is beat them to their nickelback or six-back formation and still be able to isolate your man on their man one-on-one.
The word isolation keeps coming up in offensive game plans. You want to get that defender against somebody faster.
Well, that's exactly the way it is, and you have a man like Stanley Morgan. They know if there's ever a one-on-one. We saw it today on the long touchdown pass. He can't be covered. James Lofton, JJ, none of those guys can be covered one-on-one, so you're finding the one back, the I formation, the double tight end, everybody going on motion, searching for the weakness in the defense, trying to get somebody one-on-one.
Well, now they have 2 people looking to do that out on the right flank, and one wide to the left, and Cedric Jones. It is second down and 11 for the Patriots. Baltimore leads 20-16 in the fourth quarter. 9 minutes to play. They go to Tony Collins up the gut. He's ahead to the 45-yard line of Baltimore.
And you're seeing now, we're seeing all the new offensive formations, but you're also seeing the offensive teams sometimes, now we are not talking about it right now, but we'll see it during the year, offensive times, the offensive teams going with no huddle so they can stop the defensive team from getting the 5th back in, the 6th back in, so they have to play them normal, 4-3 or a 3-4 defense.
Defense has changed with every offensive set. Now we have another look by the New England Patriots with third down and 5 coming up. They're down by 4 in the fourth quarter. Here's a throw. Cedric Jones catches it. He's free and then caught down to the 25-yard line. Kendall Williams in the secondary, a rookie out of Arizona State, finally tackled him. But now the Patriots are challenging with 8 minutes left to play in the game. You know what the temperature's like. A shirtless crowd here today in Sullivan Stadium.
Gorgeous day in New England. Grogan paid for that pass. We're talking about trying to isolate the chess match. Everybody sees on the sideline the head coach of both teams. The chess match is between the offensive and the defensive coordinator of the opposing teams.
First down and 10, New England. Patriots trailing in the game 20-16. Van Egan takes it up the middle, and Mark Van Egan's down to the 15-yard line. But this is where Baltimore's been so tough in the past when the Patriots get down close.
And you see what they do. They're able to get a nice play on the pass and come back to Len Dawson, who makes a beautiful block. But they go to the veteran running back. He play is designed to go off tackle. Mark Van Egan, all of those hard yards he's made, he knows to go back, cut against the grain. He takes it up for a very nice gain. They're on the roll, but the inconsistency in Grogan's career shows it's a mistake in this area of the field.
He's made the big plays, and as you pointed out, he certainly has made some throwing mistakes. Now he's keeping it simple and direct. Right up the middle goes Van Egan. Hosea Taylor knocks him down, but the Patriots drive down to the 10-yard line.
And with that running group that they have, you see Pete Brock taking one-on-one, just shielding him out, and beautiful block by Brock. There's the problem one-on-one with a guy that's kind of undersized. Wisniewski's a good football player, but there is such a size difference between the center and that nose tackle.
Baltimore's defense wants a timeout as the Patriots now have the ball first and goal from just inside the Baltimore 10-yard line. 6:44 left to play. Frank Cush and his Colts are holding to a 20-16 lead. We'll be back to Sullivan Stadium right after this. Rocking and rolling here in Foxborough. The Patriots on a drive, but they trail in the game in the fourth quarter. Don Criqui with Jim Turner at Sullivan Stadium with 6:44 to play in the game. Maybe not in the game. We could go to overtime if conceivably the Patriots take it in, kick the point. Baltimore comes back down and hits the field goal, which Allegre has shown he can do. But there's much to be decided and a long time to do it. Handoff, Van Egan, power run, and they get 5 more. Down to the 5-yard line. It'll be second and goal from there.
Fine, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Down in this area, go with your strength. Go with this massive offensive line. They were second in the league in rushing last year. Go ahead with Mark Van Egan. You've got Hanna, Wooten, a nice block by Wooten. Van Egan runs it back in behind the trap. Holloway, Brock, they're doing an outstanding job. Don't chance an interception or a hit and a fumble. You run it in. Go with your strength in this area.
That's how they ran their offense last year, as we're well aware, in getting to the playoffs. It's that power offense. Now they've got 3 downs to try to get it in, does New England. Second and goal from the 5. Right back this time the other way. Baltimore's defense is there, and so are penalty markers. Weathers runs the ball.
I have a feeling they're going to get number 33, Tony Collins, the running back at the wide receiver position that time, hitting above the waist. What it is, it's the old call for a clip. And I was wrong. Notice how I called that one?
Well, it was against New England, though, and it's a very costly one. From the 5, they'll be stepped off now back to the 15-yard line.
Now do you change your plan and have to throw it in? Do you panic?
Well, they have 3 downs to try to run it in, but...
Well, they're behind by 4 points. You wonder if they get a little anxious right here if they want to change anything. I, however, would continue with my strength. Go behind Hanna and Brock.
Holding, 76 offense, second down.
Get the down over, but now they're 15 yards away from the Baltimore end zone. Let's watch the penalty again.
Penalty on number 76, Brian Holloway. Massive man, 288 pounds, and you can see it. It's a takedown. It's an actual takedown. Grab him, take him down.
The tension mounting now. New England with the ball in a shotgun, and Grogan's looking into the end zone. Here's a throw, and man is open, and it's broken up at the very last moment by Kim Anderson. The nickel back in there. Cedric Jones was open, and then Anderson recovered and stopped a short touchdown.
Just absolutely a short touchdown. A beautiful pass by Grogan. The over the shoulder timing pattern. Number 26 comes in, and look, watch that. We've seen Raymond Claiborne do that a couple of times today. It's just a beautiful play, saving the touchdown.
Ron Meyer on a nervous opening day. He said, I have concerns, major concerns, but I am confident we're going to be a better football team than the one that went 5-4 last year. Right now, New England has a couple of big downs coming up. This one is third and goal from the 15. Patriots trail the Baltimore Colts 20-16 in the fourth quarter. 5:50 to play. Grogan running. He might get to the end zone. Just short. Just short. They have it marked at the 2. The linesman has it stepped off at the 2. We'll see where the referee puts the ball. The pressure really on now. 4th down coming up.
Vintage Steve Grogan. Everybody's covered, ready to, and willing to take it downfield. You know he's not as quick as he used to be, but watch this. Takes it down to the half-yard line, knows enough to hold on, tuck it away, and go in. See him reaching for the touchdown? He was down. It's a good call by the officials. The fans don't like it.
They spot the ball at the 1, just inside the 1. So now, a moment of truth for the New England Patriots on opening day. 4:55 to play. They trail 2016, 4th and goal. Collins in motion. Power run. Fumble! Baltimore has the ball. This man's going to go the distance. One of the big plays in Baltimore Colt football in recent years. This will go for a touchdown. Larry Anderson takes it on the 1 hop, and he is gone. We'll see if there's any markers or if it's a touchdown. The official follows the play. It's a 98-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
And Don, Steve Grogan pitched the ball. The running back was looking for a handoff and just blew the whole play. He pitched the ball.
Make that 99 yards. Statistician Bill George with an update. What a play. What a dramatic turn of development in this game.
See, there's a hand. They're in a handoff position, and he pitched the ball to Van Eegen. He was waiting for the handoff, not a lateral. No chance for Grogan to make this tackle.
Larry Anderson, the ex-Steeler, goes 99 yards. He had his problems early in the game. You'll remember he was the man that was beaten on that Stephen Starring 73-yard touchdown pass reception that put New England in the lead. But now, this 4-year veteran of the Steelers who came to Baltimore has one of his great moments in pro football.
Big turnaround, major turnaround. We talked about the inconsistencies of the New England team. And now, what are the officials doing?
They definitely signaled touchdown. Now let's see.
Yard line.
They're calling it back.
Well, they're going to call it. He can't run with a fumble. I think they're going to rule he might have been down, or we'll have to see.
Better be a good one.
It was a 4th down play, and now Coach Cush wants an explanation, and we understand that.
We all want an explanation. Well, that was an obvious fumble. What's going on?
New England defense is out, and the Baltimore offense is out, so apparently the Colts do have the ball with 4:36 to play, but the touchdown's been negated. The 6 points have come off the board.
Third ball. First down.
What do you say? We're not going to have this settled for a while.
I don't buy that at all. I don't blame you, Coach Cush. Go for it.
A pitch back. The ball was handled by the back. He bobbled it, fumbled it, and a ruling.
Penalty on Coach Cush. Don, there was nothing that we saw that would say that that ball was dead. Nothing at all that ball was down. It was an obvious fumble, a pitch, a mistake by the patch.
Got it on the 1 hop.
Got it on the 1 hop, 99-yard return. I don't know what they're saying. We'll be able to see it here again. Watch it. It's an obvious fumble. He pitches it. Van Egen's waiting for the handoff. Down it goes. The man picks it up on the dead run, goes 99-yard return. Now, I don't understand what they're calling here, and they've called another penalty against Frank Cush. Ball was on the 4, it's now on the 2.
So, from a 26-16 lead, and ready to kick off, the Colts find themselves on the official ruling of a change of possession, but no subsequent return for the touchdown. They find themselves 1st and 10 at their 2-yard line. 4:36 to play. Baltimore leads by 4. They go to the run. There's not much there for Randy McMillan. Got it out close to the 5. Steve Nelson, been making defensive plays all day, made another one for New England. Frank Cush and Zeke Bratkowski.
This will have a definite effect on a young ball club like the Baltimore Colts. The game would have been totally in hand at that point. I am not sure exactly what the officials are basing returning that touchdown on. I don't blame Frank Cush because I wouldn't be satisfied with anything. Don, there's nothing that I saw. Anything that you saw that would call that ball back?
Looked like an absolute bobble and a fumble of the ball. Running wide is Curtis Dickey. He does well to dive ahead for about 3 yards and make it down 3rd down and 7 now. Nelson again on the stop. All right, the ruling we've just gotten from the National Football League is it was not ruled a fumble. It was ruled a backwards pass, which can be recovered but not advanced by the defensive team. It's not ruled a fumble. Ruled a backwards pass.
I still don't buy it. I'm sorry.
So the ruling it was a fumble lateral or bobble lateral.
Yeah. Well, that is the rule.
You can't advance a backwards pass. You certainly can advance a fumble. Here is McMillan turning the corner and working so hard he might have a first down. On a 3rd and 7 play, McMillan works his way ahead and gets the Colts 4 new downs.
Key to it down here is for the Colts to maintain their poise. They're upset about it. They probably don't even understand the call. But don't put their punter in the hole so that he gets a punt to maybe the 50. Ricky Smith will take it back and get New England in good field position. Everybody must maintain their poise down here in this situation. Only 3:10 left in the game.
A very big effort by Randy McMillan. It looked like he was stopped, and he got around and got the first down for Baltimore. The ball is out now to the 14-yard line. Cush and his Colts have not won since they've been associated. Not in the regular season. But on opening day, 1983, they're in the midst of a beauty here in New England. Here is Curtis Dickey trying to turn the corner and gets ahead for some, but not much. See where they spot the ball. Andre Tippett, 56, ran him out of bounds. Stepping out, he stopped the clock with 3:05 to play. It has been a back-and-forth ball game. The Colts have certainly cut down on their many first-half mistakes, and they lead the game 20-16 in the first half. They turned the ball over 3 times. They were guilty of 9 penalties. Patriots had no first-half penalties, and yet at halftime it was a 13-13 game as Baltimore scored 10 points in the final minute of the second quarter. Now the Colts have the lead 20-16. Second down coming up. Another run, and this is going to bring up third down at about 3, maybe 2. Curtis Dickey runs the ball. And you see the game clock superimposed, winding down with 2:45 left to play. An emotion-filled day here at Foxborough.
This has been a wonderful opening game so far, Don.
It really has been a wonderful game.
It has been.
If there's anything that stood out more than anything else is the tenacity, and as you pointed out, there's no quit on either side in this one.
And the big play. The big play has played the key in this ball game. I would have the inclination right now to go with Randy McMillan on these hard yards.
Well, we're going to find out what they do when we come back to Foxborough, Mass. 2:48 left to go at New England. Curtis Dickey on the sidelines for Baltimore. Colts have the ball. A very big down coming up for them. Third down and less than 1. They're protecting a 4-point lead with 2:48 to go. It's 20-16 Baltimore over New England. Set in the backfield. McMillan is the up back. Loza comes in motion. Second back through. Running the ball is Dixon. He didn't get there. And the Colts will have to punt the ball back to New England. Clayton Weissoon shooting the gap. And he makes the knockdown. So, Jim, the Patriots are going to get another shot at it with some time.
The key to it now, of course, is the left-footed punter, Ron Stark. And we've talked and discussed at length. Don't kick the ball down to the middle, so that the receiving man can have his choice of the middle return, right or left return. Put him on the sideline. Hey, a nice return still doesn't mean the Patriots will get a field goal and win. They're 4 points behind. But put the man on the sideline so you isolate his return ability.
The man they have in to punt for Baltimore, and there's Ricky Smith, the return man for New England. Certainly been a productive punter. Ron Stark with 62, 58, and 45 yards on his 3 punts. Although you'll recall that 58-yarder was a low kick and came back 44 yards.
Yes, it was. And he's punted every one right down the pipe. Makes it that nice, I call it the vanilla ice cream return. Why do that? You can't do that. The punt is the first play of the defensive series, so he has got to help the guys that are coming on right now, his defensive teammates. Put it on the sideline, even if there's no return.
There's no question he's hit the ball right down the middle of the field.
He's an excellent punter.
But he has not gone sideline.
Exactly. Camarillo, on the other hand, on the New England Patriots team, works on that at length. Ron Stark, I noticed last year, didn't do it either.
You know, I asked Frank Cush the other day, Jim, about his relationship with Bob Irsay. There's certainly been some bungled trades and
yes, there has.
Lack of player acquisition. He said his position on Irsay is this. This is a man who went from zero and succeeded masterfully in his own business, and he believes he's going to do it in football too, and he's going to do it as his partner.
Well, Frank certainly handled the Elway situation. If you believe everything that you hear, Frank Kush didn't even know that he was traded. Now we'll see what the punter, very young punter in this league, a good one, but what his theory of kicking this ball is. This could be a key to the outcome of the game.
Very definitely could, as Ron Stark stands back, gets a good snap, booms the ball long, but it's going to come back as the Colts streaking downfield trying to get Ricky Smith into the middle, and Smith breaks free. Ricky Smith has blockers. Ricky Smith is down inside the 30. Kraus has the angle on him and knocks him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Same thing, a punt right down the middle, and a long return again.
You cannot do that. Take a 10-yard shorter punt, but punt it out of bounds. It's a major mistake.
He might be so confident in his leg, he just thinks he can out-kick anything.
But that's overconfidence. That's overconfidence, Don. You can't do it. The return men in this game are just too good, as we've seen right there.
Well, the statistics show that. Here,
sure.
54-yard punt right down the middle, and 52 yards it comes back.
52 yards it comes back. I'd settle for a 40-yard punt. It goes back and no return. Now, they're in field goal range, but remember, the field goal won't help them. They've got to go for the 7. But with this veteran group, especially led by Grogan, who's made some major mistakes today, but he's done well throughout his career at this point, trying to bring him into a cardiac-type finish.
If the Colts are to win their first game under Kush, they're going to have everybody on the edge of their seats to the final gun, and the Patriots are a team that can strike. Here's a low throw, though. On first down, Grogan pounding the turf. Had a man open. Right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WMAR-TV, Maryland's leader in sports broadcasting.
Steve Grogan and the Patriots trailing by 4, 20-16 with 2:32 left to play in the game. Don Criqui with Jim Turner at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. on opening day 1983. The Patriots have led by as many as 10. They had a 13-3 advantage in the second quarter. Then the Colts came back with 10 points in the final minutes of the first half and tied at 13-13. Then the Patriots went ahead. Now the Colts have come back. They lead 20-16 with 2:22 to play. A draw play. And a well-executed one as the Patriots run the ball inside the 20 on 2nd and 10.
And a good call. Everybody expecting to pass. They feel that the Patriots would be pressured to go for the 6 points. Just an excellent call.
Tony Collins running on the draw play. On the draw play, they need a prayer right now. Larry Anderson, the strong safety, making the knockdown.
Don, all we've heard about in the preseason of the defense on the Colts has been very, very good to date.
Again this year, it's fantastic finish. This is an opening day doubleheader day on NBC, and a very big second game coming up. The New York Jets against the San Diego Chargers from San Diego. But right now we've got 2 minutes to go. Grogan stands in. He throws. He's short. Running for the ball in the end zone was Cedric Jones. And Grogan took a hard lick. He's a trooper, though. He'll be up as best he can.
I think he's more disgusted with himself that he forced the ball and went to the primary the whole way. If he'd have come back to the backside, there may have been a secondary receiver coming off the slot that was wide open. He didn't look at anybody else, and he forced the ball, almost an interception.
Some good quarterback numbers. Jim Grogan's thrown the ball 24 times, has hit 11 for 218 yards, including those 2 long touchdown plays. He's been intercepted once. His counterpart, Mike Pagel, has thrown the ball 27 times for Baltimore. He's completed 13 for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pagel has been intercepted once. 1:56 to go. 4th down coming up for New England. They need a first down. Here's a throw, and they get the first down at the 10-yard line. Cedric Jones ran a down pattern, turned back, and that time Grogan was there with the ball.
And the receivers, the defensive backs, too well aware they don't want to get beat for the touchdown, gave too much cushion. Cedric Jones was told, pull up in the area, come up in the zone area. They're giving it right to him. Grogan knows right away, look, there's nobody around him, and he rolls over for the first down. Nobody wants to get beat for that touchdown, Don.
No, they're playing off, and now it's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's a draw play, running with the ball, and running to the end zone is Robert Weathers. It's a touchdown for New England.
Excellent blocking by the offensive left side by Holloway and a trap block by Wooten and John Hannon block. Look at the moves that Weathers does. Gets in for the end zone. You know that Cush is disappointed, but he has seen some good things on his young ball club.
Well, it's not over yet. Extra point is up and good. That makes it a 23-20 game. The Colts with 1:16 left will get the kickoff if they can get down the field. We've seen their rookie place kicker Allegre hit from 52 yards to close the first half. If he can hit again, it would go to overtime.
A minute and 16 is a lot of time in professional sports.
Celebration in Foxborough as the Patriots come back to take the lead with little time remaining. Now the pressure is back on Baltimore as New England's come back to take the lead, 23-20 with 1:16 to play.
And John Smith will put it in the corner so that they can only have one return. He's a veteran kicker. He knows. He knows he can't put it out of the end zone. And there it is.
What he does with it, into the end zone, they've got to bring it out. Jack Dixon has a problem, and now with 1:10 left to play, rather than letting the ball bounce into the end zone, Dixon fielded it, caught it on the one, and had to return it. And the pressure is really on Baltimore with 1:09 to go.
As the punt is the first defensive play, so is the kickoff. And look what he's done for his defensive team. They have got 89 yards to go for a touchdown. His defensive team is definitely pumped with only 1:09 to go.
Ron Stark with long punts, but right to the man in the middle, and the long returns. The last one, 44 yards, and subsequently the Patriots take it in for the go-ahead touchdown. Allegre is the kicker from the field goal range if the Colts can get there. Pagel takes a drop, takes a look, throws in the flat, gets a man, and stepping out of bounds is Curtis Dickey after catching the ball. But they're still a mile from field goal range, and the game clock shows 1:03 to play.
This is the time the coach comes to the kicker and says, how close you need? You say, just a little bit closer than it is right now. They'll come to you and try to put it on you.
Well, we saw Allegre's kick at the end of the first half, Jim. It was good from 52, yes, but it would have been good from at least 10 yards more the way he charged into the ball.
Easily.
Now the second down coming up in 3. Here's the rush. Pagel throws downfield, going for the ball. Booza comes down with the ball. He caught it at the 35-yard line and went out of bounds, stopping the clock with 55 seconds. So a beautifully thrown ball and a fine reception by Booza.
Have to throw caution to the wind. It's double coverage, and he threw it right where he had to. Right now, they've got no choice but to throw the ball. If it's intercepted, the game's over. We can't help it. Look at double excellent coverage, outstanding pass, nice catch.
Another look now.
And you'll be able to see how good the coverage is, how well thrown that ball was. Booza fighting for the ball.
Now with 55 seconds left, it's 1st and 10 from the 35. Pagel pump fake, and he's going to run. He's got a lot of room to go. He's across midfield. He's down to the 43-yard line of New England. 45 seconds left, and the clock is running, and a timeout is signaled for. The clock stops with 42 seconds to play.
Don, if they make 8 more yards, they're within the range of a 52-yard attempt, and that's what Allegre closed out the first half. You're getting exciting, isn't it? You can feel it, can't you? When I was a field goal kicker, honest to goodness, this is what I like. He's sitting there. He's not nervous. He's just going through all the strides.
He might be thinking about it, though.
Of course he's thinking about it. So would I. But he's thinking about his fundamentals. Just get into the ball. You get away from your teammates. You don't need to talk to them because they're all saying, we need it, we need it. Of course you know we need it. What you do is you go through the kick, the snap, the hold, and you see yourself successful. You see the ball go through the uprights.
Well, with 42 seconds, though, they've got some time to work with this offense.
Sure they do.
Taking it from their own 10 all the way down to the 43-yard line of New England.
I repeat, any kicker worth his salt in the NFL would love for this to come up and put it on his shoulders. We don't know anything about the youngster as far as a career. He's had a fine day today.
Coming up next is a doubleheader, a big one from San Diego, the Jets and the Chargers, a powerhouse team from the East against maybe the best in the AFC, the Chargers. We'll be switching right to that here on NBC Sports. But right now, we've got 42 seconds left to go with New England leading Baltimore 23-20. But the Colts offense, which came alive today, Pagel's thrown for 270 yards today, still has a chance to get close and try a game-tying field goal that could send us to overtime. Pagel throws. He's got his man, Bernard Henry. He's down to the 35-yard line. So you talked about 8 yards, Jim. That's exactly what they got on that in pattern. 30 seconds left.
You need, effectively, you need some more yards to get this kid going so he won't take too much time and stroke a frozen rope, as they say.
Unbelievable opening game. Pagel looks things over. He throws over the middle. Has a man down at the 15-yard line. 14 seconds left. New England rallying the defense in Baltimore with 7 seconds. Better get the ball in play. Now a timeout is signaled for with 4 seconds left.
No time. You got to kick it. No time.
No question.
Absolutely no question. Get your field goal team out there. The kid is what? You know that he's nervous. It's his first game. Look at it. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. I saw him pushing some of his teammates away. He's just concentrating. A nice chance there. Loosen his leg up. Don, honest to goodness, I know it sounds kind of corny, but the great kickers will stand on the sidelines and say, bring it down to me. George Blanda, Stinnerud, they'll say, hey, I want this.
Well, you scored 1,400 points kicking the ball. This kid has scored about, what, 8 so far.
That's all he scored.
But he hasn't missed a thing he's tried, including one from 52 yards.
Well, it's an opportunity for him to set his pro kicking career off on a positive note. Doesn't mean he's bad if he misses it, though.
It does not at all.
No.
Raul Alegre was the leading scorer at the University of Texas 2 consecutive years. Went to Dallas as a free agent kicker. Did well, but they liked the guy they had better. He was waived, and Baltimore quickly summoned him in. Their scouts had liked him off his career at Texas. So today, in his first game as a Baltimore Colt, did not play in the preseason. Raul Alegre kicked a 25-yard field goal, kicked a 52-yard field goal, has been good on his extra points. And now the Colts, with a masterfully done drive behind the right arm of Mark Pagel, have taken the ball down to the 15-yard line of New England with 4 seconds left. And Alegre standing off by himself, away from the huddle.
Remember, his first 2 attempts today were almost blocked by the Patriots.
Ron Stark is the holder. It'll be a 33-yard attempt. If he hits it, we'll go to overtime. New England leads right now by 3. Down, up, on the way. It is good. Raul Alegre hits it again. And the Colts take the game to overtime.
No time on the clock as the ball goes through.
Unbelievable football game. We've had a season of emotion on opening day. A moment of truth for Raul Alegre, and he hits it as the clock winds out. And we go to overtime.
Take another look. It's a good hold because the snap was a little high. Stark puts it. Look at the excitement. Absolutely, I'm for you, kid. Now that's talking pressure. As the ball goes through, the gun goes off. We go into overtime. What a great start.
Phenomenal. Now here's the replay. The snap is good. A good hold by Ron Stark.
Nice height right down the pipe. He's got a little bit of a hook. The official had to give it a second look. Hooked inside that bar.
Raul never was in that, though. He was jumping up and down as soon as he hit the ball. What an opening day. So now the clock is set at 15 minutes. We'll have a flip of a coin. It is amazing how often the team that wins the flip and gets possession ends up winning an overtime game.
Seem to be able to move it right down the field goal range and go from there to the victory.
Baltimore's won the toss. The Saints on the 10.
The Patriots, in their many years, have never won an overtime game. So we'll be coming back for overtime at Foxborough. Right now, a pause for this word from your local station. This is the NBC. On a sensational opening day in Foxborough, we're now ready to begin overtime. The Patriots have won the toss. They're going to receive to start the overtime as Raul Alegre, with his 3rd field goal of the day, hit the last at the final buzzer of regulation, sending the game to overtime. It's tied 23-all. Alegre kicks off a high spinning kick. Weathers back to block, and Ricky Smith goes down, but he's up and running straight up the middle. He's been a killer today for New England. He's down out to the 22-yard line. And there the Patriots go on offense, 1st and 10. Grant Pagel was down to make the tackle.
Watch him. He steps right out of his shoe here, hesitates, tries to decide what to do. He knows he's not in the end zone, takes it up for a good return. Now we'll see what the veteran offensive team can do. The Colts have been so very impressive, especially on offense. We knew that the defensive team coming in was exciting, but Pagel has shown us a great deal more than we expected.
Baltimore has 442 yards offense in this game. Pagel's thrown for 300. 297 actually, and 2 touchdowns. On First and 10. Grogan takes a look. He has a problem. Gets it away. Swings it out as a man open. Cedric Jones. And Jones is across midfield. He's down to the 45-yard line. And Grogan is down in the backfield after taking a hard hit releasing the ball.
Well, Barry Krause blitzed on that on an inside blitz and was able to get to Grogan late. Now you've seen such a marvelous game. Are we going to go into another pressure field goal? You'll see the inside blitz. Krause is coming in. He's blocked. Grogan's able to, he knows he's got to step in there and complete this one. Steps up. Not a very good throw, but certainly in the right area and a nice run. You know, another 2 first downs. They're in field goal range.
Right. But their field goal kicker, as we're well aware, Jim, has not had a good day.
He's not had a good day, but I must say, I think John Smith is the best kicker in football, pressure-wise and percentage-wise. They talk about Herrera and Frisch. Those guys kick indoors. It's easy to kick indoors.
Smith has been doing it in New England. It ain't like this in November and December. Here is a handoff. Running a fumble. Free ball. Picked up. That is a fumble if they call, but there's a penalty marker down. Hosea Taylor's heading for the end zone, but let's see what the call is.
If that call's against New England, this game is over.
It absolutely is over, but we'll see what the call is. Now the officials, the game is on the line with this conference.
It certainly is, right there on the 20-yard line. If this is against New England, this game...
Holding.
This game's over.
It's over. It is a fumble and a touchdown.
Holy cow.
The holding call against the Patriots. Hosea Taylor, we had to wait for the result, takes it in for a touchdown.
There he is. Touchdown.
It makes up for the call they made on the lateral.
Patriots have never won an overtime.
First victory for Frank Kush.
Our thanks to spotters Ron Hobson and Reagan Holman and Bill George. As we have come to you today from Foxborough, Massachusetts, our producer Peter Rolfe, our director Andy Rosenberg, a sensational day, and here is the game-ending play.
And you can see it makes up for the other one. A good hit in there. Maxwell, it just dropped out of his hands. No one hit him.
Tony Collins lost the ball.
Hosea Taylor picks up the ball, big lumbering man, and the decision came on the officials.
We had to wait. There was a penalty marker down, and finally they conferred, and it was decided it was a call, a holding against New England. And so the play goes, and into the end zone goes Hosea Taylor, and Frank Kush has his first win as coach at Baltimore.
What an exciting start to the NFL season. A very good game.
Oh, unbelievable.